Woo! Welcome in. I love a walk-off Wednesday on Ben and Woods. Makes me very, very happy. Should we get one? Let's get one. Yeah! It's been a while. Man, love a walk-off. Always love a walk-off. Feels so good. Great to be here with you guys this morning. We are Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Let's get our heads right on a Wednesday. I haven't said that in a while. Let's try to get our heads right now. Our little guy over here struggling a little bit. Probably not feeling at his best.
Not doing too well.
We've sent the bat signal up to Adam Clug, our boss. But I guess at 6 in the morning, still asleep?
Like, we have one of those jobs where it's early.
It's early.
And neither of you can really run the board.
It's not that we really. You said neither of you can really run the board.
We would not be on the air if you were not here.
Ben and I would be sitting here just going, how you doing?
So when I get out of bed at 4:30, 4:45 or whatever, and I'm like, holy crap, I do not feel like I don't know what
chills,
to do.
Right. Yeah, you're really up against it at that point. Now, I know that, and that's Paul Reindl, by the way, our executive producer, Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. When the best thing to do in our gig is to let everybody know the night before. But if you're feeling like, all right, I think I can do this. If you happen to wake up and go, I can't go, like right. you guys will be fine. I'll be fine without you, Ben. We need Paulie. Paulie is we have to have it.
It's a dilemma because you don't want to upset the apple cart and say, I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it tomorrow, so we need to get someone up. We need to get Adam or Italian Paul, and they have to wake up at 4 a.m. and get here, and then Paul wakes up in the morning and goes, actually, you know what? I'm feeling fine. I can come in. I overreacted. False alarm last night. But
I took some NyQuil last night.
Yeah.
Like, I got
slept like a baby.
8 hours of sleep, and it was just when I woke up, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, there's crud going around, man. There's a bunch of crud going around. You guys were in Vegas. There's crud in Vegas. There's crud at this radio station. There's crud everywhere. And I want you to go home as soon as you can get back up to come in and jump on the board, Paulie. No harm, no foul on our end, and stay home tomorrow if you have to. Of course, you'll miss the 97.3 The Fan roundtable, but you can listen to it from home. It's fine.
I do want to say that both Woods and I have run boards in the past.
Yes.
It's just like when I ran the board, it was using carts, which are like 8-track tapes, and an analog system that has no like similarity to what we do now with computer screens and codes and everything that Paul does. So
I ran that exact board almost, but I didn't have all the bells and whistles. I had a couple of fart noises that I would play over songs that I didn't like. And that was it. And I had a system and it picked the music and played the music. And the only power I had is I could go in and drop songs to make the time, work out. And I would always get in trouble for dropping songs that I didn't like, but that I was supposed to play. Woodsy, that was not a drop option. Oh, I just figured, boss, we'd already played it 6 times since I've been in. And I thought, what's it going to hurt to drop Gautier for the 3rd time this hour that we're going to play it? I thought, you're right. It wasn't a drop. I must have misread the log.
Were you over talking, and that's why they needed to drop songs?
No, it just sometimes it times out that way, and maybe a little bit of over talking. But I always tried to talk over the ramp so that I didn't, But I didn't have a lot to say. I mean, I'm giving away iPads. It's coming up, and here's Walk the Moon again, and that's all I did. So I had like 3 buttons that I messed with, and that's it. I did not have the intros for this, the outros for that, the sponsors for this, and like. Taking care of us. So Paulie is obviously very integral to the program. Adam does a decent job, and Italian Paul does a decent job, but it ain't Paulie. So, but when you get the word, Paulie, feel free. You are free to go home, get in bed, rest up, do what you got to do.
I bet I know where I got sick, and it's probably the story that you're about to tell. Now that I think about it,
there's no way.
It's possible.
All right, we need like some Pink Panther music. Like,
either way, so I wasn't feeling. If I was 75%, probably shouldn't have been dumpster diving after the show yet.
The story is, why was Paulie climbing into our Odyssey dumpster yesterday?
We had a mystery on our hands yesterday. that panicked us more than you can ever imagine. Now, if you remember last week, we had gotten a shipment of rally towels in from the San Diego Padres. We're going to put some of those in our golf tournament gift bags. Last day to buy tickets for the Ben & Woods Open is going to be on Friday, so make sure that you go to our
5 p.m.
5
Friday.
p.m. Go to our socials, get your foursome or twosome or onesome. So we had these rally towels. They were delivered to the station. Adam Clug, our boss, took it upon himself to open said boxes and start throwing them around like it was Christmas morning. And there are rally towels all over this office. So Braden, who is the producer for Annie and Elston, took 2 bags of them for his golf tournament. We're trying to locate those, get those back. Everyone has just helped themselves to our stuff. And so yesterday...
God forbid we have things shipped to the work, the office.
Correct. The only thing here that no one has opened of ours is the hate mail that I get from Dodger fans. They leave that to me to open with pictures of... You saw it. I mean, it's disgusting. Doo-doo in the toilet. I mean, it's just the worst. So yesterday the show ends. We go into the production studio, and Paulie busts in. He's like, oh, my God, I'm going to kill somebody. I go, what happened? He goes, I get a text from Adam that says, hey. Well, it's Adam. Hey, did you get that box?
Does his text sound like that, too?
His text sound like that. When you open your phone, you read them and, hey, did you get that box I sent?
Hey, Siri, read my text.
Hey, did you get the box I left for you guys outside the studio? And Paulie's like, no, there's no box there. Well, there was a box from Callaway. And I just go,
no,
what?
we didn't know who it was from.
It was the shape of a Callaway box with clubs in it for our golf tournament.
But I wasn't fully expecting anything. I mean, I knew at some point we were going to get something from the golf tournament, but I didn't know. I didn't have tracking. I didn't know it was coming in today.
They didn't give you a heads up.
So I'm like, oh, so this was on Tuesday. No, what's today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
So on Monday is when it arrived, Monday afternoon after we had left. So he sent me a picture of the box right outside of the studio.
Right.
And then when I got in yesterday, I go,
there's no box.
No box.
I didn't
Adam
see
must
it.
have moved it over to his desk.
No, wasn't there.
Wasn't there.
So we're sitting here going, so these are prizes for our golf tournament, and they're nowhere to be found. And we look around. We are all casing the building. Ben's in one corner. I'm in the other corner. And I go...
Looking for a large, rectangular, long...
Box. Which, by the way, I saw the picture of the box. Someone had opened it. It had been opened.
Yeah.
It was open. And I'm like, bro, stop opening our mail. Adam and Michael at the driving range with it. I'm sitting there going, what is happening? So we couldn't find it. So I just go, I don't know what to do. Let me go ask JR. So I asked JR, the engineer, he goes, hey, I'll tell you right now, man. He goes, we have security cameras in the lobby. He said, but it wasn't the janitorial guys. It wasn't the janitors. They don't take boxes. He goes, I have boxes. We break them down. We write trash on them. We lean them against the wall. They don't take them. So it's not them. They're not going to take a box.
And I'm like, well, then who the F took our stuff?
Somebody grabbed our stuff. So we were a wreck. Because what we didn't want to do is have to call back to our friends at Callaway, who have already done so much for us, and go, hey, can you give us more prizes? Somebody stole ours, or we lost them. Like, the thought, I go...
Just like we didn't want to have to call the Padres for more rally towels.
Exactly. So I'm just sitting here going, all right, we got to get this golf tournament over with. This thing feels cursed right now. So Paulie goes down with one of the engineers, starts poking around down in the dumpster, and if that SOB didn't find that club down in there, and we got it, and we got it back, we retrieved it, and holy cow, man, Paulie holding it up like he just captured the flag on foreign soil. So yeah, man, it's unbelievable. But yeah, we were so panicked by that.
But he caught the plague, apparently.
Yeah, apparently
in the dumpster.
Yeah, I mean that can happen. That can happen if you're diving around in refuse. God only knows what else he was handling when he was down in there. But holy cow, dude, we got it. It's back. We really need a safe place for our stuff when it comes in here. So thank you, Paulie, for dumpster diving yesterday and retrieving that. And yes, the golf tournament a week from today, my friends. Woo, mama, we have a lot of work to do. And Jeter says, who throws golf clubs away? I don't want to blame anybody, but like if I was going to steal something, I would throw it away and then go back and get it later. That's just what I would do if I was a thief, right? Oh, I didn't know. And then I would throw it in there, give it 12 hours, 24 hours, and then go back in there and grab it. Might have done that with beer at a store that I worked at when I was 19.
Really?
Yes, I was a dirtbag. So, yeah, I might have done that before.
So if anyone saw you, they look like you were just throwing away trash.
Exactly right.
And then you come back to the trash to claim your prize
Correct.
later.
At like 9 o'clock at night with my buddies. Yeah, it's a good move. But I'm also a jerk for it. I get it. I think about these things laying
You're
in bed
also
at
consuming something that's been sitting in the garbage.
night. Yeah, but it was beer, and I wasn't old enough to buy beer. So there you go. But yeah, so we got it back, man. Holy cow. Prolific the Great says, I don't play golf or else I would go. You don't have to, man. Come out and, like, we have a hole where I just want people to come hang out and heckle people. I just heckle. And hang out. You don't have to play golf at all. Just come and hang out. There's a beautiful area. We'd love to see as many Tier 1s out there as possible at Goat Hill Park.
Anyone can enter our raffle
Yeah,
for
you can do the
great
raffle.
prizes
Yeah.
if you show up as well.
Yeah, bring your ass out there and heckle and do whatever you want to do. So come on out. It's for everybody. You don't have to golf. We're not even golfing this year. We're going to be hanging out and shaking hands, kissing babies. Ben's going to be working the glory hole, and I'll be working the heckle hole, and it's just going to be a fun time for all. I'm really thinking about bringing a chair and posting up at the heckle hole for a while and just wearing people out. I got my bullhorn. I got my siren. We can bring all kinds of stuff. So, well, it's good to be here with you guys. Great to be discussing a Padres win, a walk-off, certainly. But, yeah, we solved the caper. And, Paulie, let me know when you get the go-ahead to split.
Adam has responded.
What do you say?
He's going to head in as soon as he can.
My man, that Clug. He's very dependable.
All right, Bald Reindl will be replacing Paul Reindl at some point this morning.
Yes.
And we are off and running. Want to get into last night's game. Obviously, we'll set the menu and hear all the highlights in just a couple of minutes of a walk-off if you missed it. If you didn't stay up, a walk-off 4-3 win for the Padres.
I will say,
pretty dramatic game.
I was out. The NyQuil hit me hard.
I made it all the way up for this one, guys.
I woke up around 11 to head to the bathroom, checked my phone, and went, hell yeah, boys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It was great.
Don't
Great
go
win.
anywhere. Ben Woods getting started here on a Wednesday on San Diego's #1 sports station. Let's check Kelly's traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Big day for you, Woods.
Big day.
I also have some breaking baseball trade news. What would you like to do first?
Big
day for the Woods family or breaking baseball trade news?
I don't want to be selfish, so let's do the breaking big baseball news first.
All right. Jeff Passan just tweeting that the
real Jeff Passan?
Or maybe the guy who hacked Buster Olney yesterday. And he's getting more clever with his tweets. But Jeff Passan tweeting the Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring super utility man Cavin Bigio in a trade from the Toronto Blue Jays. Sources tell ESPN. Bigio, 29, was designated for assignment by the Blue Jays last week. He's hitting 200, 323, 291 slash line this year, 227, 343, 382 for his career.
I feel like they have a team.
So basically the Blue Jays were cutting him, and the Dodgers have picked him up.
Picked him up, and they're going to have to send something back now. I do feel
Not much,
right.
likely.
I feel like they have a team of super utility guys. I really do. And they do. I mean,
well, they got Kike back, but he hasn't been great this year.
Chris Taylor has
turned himself from a super utility guy into a super bad utility guy.
Or they just call
offensively.
They just call him a utility guy now. He's no longer a super utility guy. Cavin Bigio is also not a super utility guy. He's just a utility guy. So they picked up a guy from the Blue Jays and think that they can find a slot for him, and another little arm in the Swiss Army knife for Dave Roberts, right? Just another guy that could maybe help bridge the gap. And but yeah,
he's not the missing piece. I don't think for that team.
I don't think so either. And
not that they're missing anything right now. They're still 7.5 games ahead.
I'd say that's pretty good.
The Padres, the second place Padres in the NL West. So,
but they're here. They go about to start wheeling and dealing here in mid-June. So Cavin Bigio will be a Dodger. Feels like a great fit for him. And one of the guys, Ben, all the fathers and sons that are in the big leagues right now, the ex players' kids, hasn't really lived up to a lot of the early hype. A lot of them have, but he's not one of them. But he's now a Los Angeles Dodger. I expect him to hit 350 the rest of the way. Probably 14 to 16 homers.
MVP votes.
Yeah, 14 to 16 homers for the next half of the season, and really start to dominate somehow.
One who is living up to the hype is the son of former St. Louis Cardinal Fernando Tatis.
Correct.
He is currently riding a 17-game hitting streak now. We will get into our Padres wrap-up in just a couple of minutes, give you all the highlights of yesterday's walk-off win. As you said at the start of the show, you love a good walk-off.
Oh, I love a walk-off.
You love it better than a 6-1 stress-free win? I mean, in the end, sure.
Yes. Yes.
In the end,
when it's over, yes.
Walk-off is baseball as theater. It's a movie because in a walk-off win, obviously you've got some struggles to overcome. There's some ups and downs because you didn't dominate the whole game. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the position where you needed to walk off a game, whether you were tied or trailing in the bottom of the ninth. Yeah. So there were some obstacles to overcome. Nothing went perfectly over the course of the game. There were highs, there were lows. It's a movie script. It's baseball as theater, which is why movies like Major League end with a walk-off hit of some sort, because that's the most dramatic way to play a baseball game.
Yeah, you wouldn't do a movie where in the last game they win 12-1. It's just, we just dominated. It would be like putting the flame out on a candle. You're like, all right, well, that was...
Even in Moneyball, the climactic scene,
of course.
They picked something in the middle of the season, the 20-game win streak, because guess what? The 20th game ended with a walk-off after they had gotten up, 13-11 nothing or something, blown the lead, and then had to get the walk-off by Chris Pratt to win the game. It's just the best way to enjoy a baseball game. It's unpredictable. You never know when you're going to get one.
God, it feels good.
And
man.
you had a very thrilling, exciting, and unlikely hero at the end of the game.
Very happy for him, dude. Very happy for Kyle Higashioka, a favorite. I mean, he loves metal, so I love him. He used to walk up to The Trooper by Iron Maiden. He's walked up to a Tool song. He walks up to a Rat song now. I mean, he's a perfect player for me. And I love the dude. I talked to him on Friday night. The nicest guy. The nicest human being. Not overly emotional, just pretty deadpan. And to have a moment like that was pretty solid. Watching all the big dogs, man. Shower him with water and jump all over him. Manny and Tatis, all those guys were so stoked for him. Just a really good piece. And, threw a guy out last night, too. Nice game for Kyle. in a series of what have been nice games for Kyle Higashioka lately. Exactly what you ask for from your backup catcher coming through in a moment like that. So really cool, man. It's awesome when Fernando does it. It's awesome when Manny does it. It's awesome when those guys do it, but those guys make a lot of money. They're kind of expected to do it. Kyle Higashioka is not the guy you expect to walk one off, and I'm very happy for him that he did.
So, stupid question. Has Fernando hit a walk-off?
Ooh.
I don't remember.
I don't have one that's coming immediately.
I know
to
Manny's
mind.
hit him.
Yeah, Manny's hit him. A walk-off homer or a knock?
I mean,
Homer's
homer.
Different, but a homer.
Yeah. I don't think he has.
Come on, he has to have. Somebody will know.
I mean, the Padres only had 2 last season,
but
like neither of them were Tatis. He didn't.
People
play
are saying no, he hasn't.
He didn't play the year before, so it would have had to have come in his first couple of years, and I don't remember one. So people are saying no, he has not. Well, he's due for one.
Maybe today.
All right, so we'll get to the highlights of the game yesterday, discuss it all. Also, the injury updates for your San Diego Padres. We have some more trade rumors. Ken Rosenthal with some news this morning.
More
discussing
rumors.
Your San Diego Padres.
Boy.
Not an actual trade, but nothing that new. Just kind of an update on the rumors that have already been floating around involving the San Diego Padres. Play Take on Woods at 7:10. Chance to qualify for the trip to the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. Don't do this at 7:20. It is a Big League Wednesday with Adam Jones, maybe. Always a maybe.
Always a maybe.
At 7:35. He usually comes through for us. And then Brett Boone will be with us at 8:35 this morning. Host of the Brett Boone podcast here on Odyssey, and always one of our favorite guests when we get a chance to talk to him. So it is a Brett Boone Wednesday as well. We were going to have a Rindle report. Paulie may have to hand that information off to Adam when he gets here, if Paulie is leaving. So
I got some good stuff for him.
We will we'll play that by ear going into our last hour, and then getting you ready for day baseball today. Guess what? Padres going for the 3-game.
Stop
If we
it.
don't
game.
say it,
They're just going for another game,
just a win,
and
win
another win
today.
Someone
Go
tell
1-0
them.
today.
Someone tell them if they win today, they'll get back to 500.
Yes, even though they'll
that's
be
not,
better.
That's not true.
Hey, you win this
Just
game.
tell them.
Hey, y'all win this game. You'll be
back
500.
You'll get back to 500
Okay?
today.
Get you the money for it.
Don't tell them otherwise. That's what they need to know. They're perpetually a game under 500 and just need to get back to 500 every single day.
Sucks them back in. Just another day. Just another game.
Don't
say
think
it.
anything else.
Don't tweet it. Don't mention it. Don't put it in the chat. Nothing. Just keep your mouth shut. I'm asking you. All right, everyone.
Don't bring any, cleaning supplies to Petco
No,
Park to
nothing.
remind
Just
anybody of what's
shut up.
on the line.
For once in your lives, just shut your mouth.
Don't want to see any dustpans or
Nope.
anything of the sort.
Nothing.
Just a normal day game at the old ball yard
That's
this
right.
afternoon.
Just go out and win a ball game and see what happens.
All right, we'll get to our Padres wrap-up. Jesse's calls last night. We also have an update for you on the Incorporator.
Yes, we do.
But not the actual Incorporator. Little story to go with that one as well. All coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Before we get to Jesse's highlights in our Padres wrap-up, I want to update everybody on yesterday's Incorporator, which the word, again, of the Incorporator was sockdologer, which is something that is hit hard or a person who hits hard, essentially, a sockdologer. But the added challenge that I gave to Jesse, and now I feel a little bit bad about it, is to see if he could get that, because it's a fairly easy word to talk about in baseball if you used it. I mean, a hard hit ball, you get all kinds of hard hit things in the game of baseball. So there should be plenty of opportunities. So I gave him the added challenge. I wanted to hear it in an actual game highlight, something that we would put in our Padres wrap-up in the morning, as opposed to just kind of randomly, in the fourth inning when he's having a conversation with Tony Gwynn Jr., which is always great, but just thought I'd add the challenge. And Jesse got back to Paul last night and said, I may want to hold until the next day. Didn't get it in on one of the early home runs, and I'm thinking I want to have another opportunity to do so. And then he did not put it into the walk-off home run, which I don't blame him at all. That's a huge moment for the season, not just the game.
Yeah.
So he didn't put it in, but he wants to get a second go at the opportunity today.
So no problem.
So we said, fine, take your time. There's no rules really that come with the Incorporator. So Jesse said, listen today for sockdologer in the day game homestand finale against the Oakland A's.
Jesse can do whatever he wants. That's what it boils down to.
That
Jesse,
is true.
Carte blanche.
Yeah, he's got carte blanche. If he's not comfortable, you just wait. No problem. Jesse has been doing appearances on this show since forever, and I consider him like he's a part of the Ben and Woods. He is skin and bones with this show, so he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He can do it any way he wants, and I look forward to it today. It's a great word.
And I'm looking forward to hearing all of the highlights from last night's win. We will get to those right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego Zoo. Couple of problems here, guys. One of them is a collision partially blocking the transition ramp eastbound 54 at the southbound 805 connector. And we still have that pull down in the right lane, northbound 5, right before Carmel Valley Road. That was caused by earlier crash. So you'll see a little activity there, northbound 5, just before Carmel Valley. You don't need a cape or special powers to be a superhero, because every time you walk through the gates, the San Diego Zoo, you help fund conservation efforts around the globe. And that makes you a hero for wildlife everywhere. San Diego Zoo. Every visit goes a long way. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Oh my God, I'm so stiff.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
What up, crew?
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
I like it when the Padres win.
Yeah! Yeah! It's the Padres Wrap-Up, presented by Hamul Casino. With thrilling slots and tables and all the best rewards, Hamul Casino has all the fun you're looking for. Hamul Casino, fun above all else. Yeah!
Give me a do damage.
Do damage!
The left-handed batter's box to lead off against Randy Vasquez. We are underway as the first pitch is hit in the air. High and deep to right center. Merrill back to watch. It's going to go. Leadoff home run on the very first pitch as the A's take a 1-0 lead. Rise 1 out of 2 with a single in his last at-bat. Pitch here is swung on, grounded sharply towards first. Over to the line. Soderstrom's got it. Late flip to the pitcher, covering, not in time. Kim on his way home. The throw is high, and the game is tied. Sears was late going to cover first base, and it cost him. 1-1 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Completely had a brain fart there.
First pitch coming. Jurickson swings. It's a ground ball. Diving attempt by Geloff. Goes off his glove into right. Arise has scored. Tatis is right behind him. A 2-run single for Profar. And the Padres lead for the first time tonight. It's 3-1. Now trying to play from behind. 1-2. Hit in the air. Center field. Straight away and deep. Merrill's back at the wall. He looks. It's going to go into the Padre bullpen. Soderstrom hits his second home run in as many nights. This one a 2-run shot to tie it. 3-3 in the 8th. Abraham Toro knocked in the first run of the game on the first pitch of the game. Swings here, pops one into shallow right center. Cronenworth back, Fernando in. Cronenworth over the shoulder, makes a running catch, and we're going to hang a star. A 1-2-3, top of the ninth for Robert Suarez. 2-2 from Alexander on the way, hit in the air, deep down the left field line, towards the corner, gonna go! Higashioka has homered in each of his last 3 starts. This one a walk-off. And the Padres survive it 4-3 against the A's. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon.
Big moment, Petco. It was fun. You guys fought their tails off. Really played a good, clean baseball game. Good baseball game all the way around, but always good to leave the faithful Friar walking home and leaving Petco happy.
Quite the bookends for that game, with the very first pitch getting hit for a home run by Abraham Toro, and the very last pitch of the game, a walk-off home run by Kyle Higashioka. And I was wondering if it is how rare that is. I don't know in terms of baseball overall, but Jeff Prout with the Padres did confirm last night on my tweet. It's the first time it's ever happened at Petco Park, where the first and last pitches of the game were both hit over the fence as the Padres win 4-3.
I love it
yesterday.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you don't have a good feeling about the game when your pitcher's very first pitch. It's usually taken more often than not.
Yeah.
Well, a strike, a ball, whatever. Let's let this game unfold for a moment. And all of a sudden, you're behind 1-0. Just right away, you go, okay.
I love the ambush, man. I really do. I love the first pitch fastball ambush. I mean, I don't know that I've ever hit leadoff in my entire life, but you would have to tie my hands behind my back to get me to not try to ambush every first pitch I saw. If I was the leadoff hitter, maybe the best pitch you're going to see, Ben. He wants to get ahead. You're 90% going to get a heater there, and if you can ambush it and do something, I absolutely love it. Now, I hate it that it happened to Randy Vasquez last night, but you want to talk about gutting one out last night. Holy smokes. Again, one of those performances that it's not sustainable. Like, you can't, it's like Mazur's first start. Yeah, results-based or results-based business. You got through it. You did your job. You made pitches when you need to, but whew, it was dicey all night.
It turned out to be the only run that Randy Vasquez allowed in his 5 innings. He did scatter 6 other hits, so 7 hits total. And so did J.P. Sears. Yep. Padres had a bunch of hits and base runners, and they hit into double plays in the first 2 innings. This was just a very interesting game. It wasn't just a dramatic walk-off win. There was a lot of things going on in this game yesterday. In the bottom of the first, Fernando Tatis Jr. extended his hitting streak to 17 games with a nice single the other way. It's the longest Padres hitting streak since Adrian Gonzalez in 2006. It's halfway to the Padres franchise record of 34 set by Benito Santiago.
Yeah, I saw that graphic pop up the other night. Benito Santiago with 30.
Not Tony Gwynn.
34 straight games for Benito.
As a rookie.
It's fantastic, man.
Padres, as I said, didn't take advantage of early opportunities, but then they were gifted basically their 3-run rally in the bottom of the 5th inning when there was 2 outs, Ha-Seong Kim on second base, and Luis Ariz hit one hard down the line. But it should have been an out had J.P. Sears reacted instantly and went to cover first base. Ariz not a particularly fast runner, but he got caught, as Tony Gwynn Jr. said, a little brain fart, just didn't make that first move over to cover. And by the time he did, it was too late by a split second, and Ariz not only scored, but Ha-Seong Kim rounded all the way from second. And
great base running, credit where credit is due.
Yeah, we've been criticizing the base running. That was a good piece of base running by Ha-Seong Kim. Tatis followed with a double, and then you heard the Profar 2-run single. Later in that inning, of course, Manny Machado roped a double to the gap, and they tried to score Jurickson Profar from first. He was thrown out at the plate, and you can there was some debate as to whether that was a good or bad send by Tim Leeper. I think that in a vacuum, I thought that was a pretty good send. With 2 outs,
same.
I thought he was probably going to score. Where that ball was into the gap and how far away the runners, the outfielders were from the ball, I thought, I think most guys score from first on that. Jurickson's not, super fast, and we found out later Jurickson is dealing with a knee injury, and when he came up later in the game, he took a swing, the knee buckled, and he got removed right from the game. Certainly a, gulp in your throat moment for the Padres and Padres fans. He's been such a important part of this team, maybe the most important part of the Padres offense all season long. And you hope that Jurickson's going to be okay. After the game, Mike Schilt said that he is day-to-day. Jurickson said he's been dealing with left patellar tendonitis for a while. Didn't say exactly how long. I'm sure that running from first to home didn't necessarily help in that situation. And they were right quick with the hook when he took that swing on an 0-1 count in the 8th inning. Padres did have a chance to go ahead in the 8th inning, but were unable to come through. They pinch ran for Manny at second base with Tyler Wade, some interesting strategy decisions. And then the bullpen decisions were also something that was being debated last night, Woods, when the Padres went to Enyel De Los Santos in the top of the 8th, who gave up the tying 2-run home run to Soderstrom. But people were wondering, well, why didn't you use Jeremiah Estrada to set up Robert Suarez in that situation? Found out after the game, Jeremiah Estrada wasn't even there. He was sick. Maybe he has what Paulie has. He was a little green under the gills.
Yep.
And they decided, let's just keep him at home, not have him interact with anybody, give him the night off, and hopefully get him back. So, Jeremiah Estrada wasn't available. So, in that sense, they went to their next best right-handed setup guy, which was De Los Santos, who had been throwing well, hadn't given up a run this month, 6 straight shutout innings. But the home run ball has been an issue for him, and he left one out over the plate for Soderstrom, and that tied the game at 3. So just everything before the 9th inning was a pretty interesting, dramatic lead-up to the end of that game last night.
Yeah, and I saw the discourse certainly on Twitter as I follow along. I didn't tweet any out because I think in those situations, I think you'd have to be nuts to be a manager and try something weird like that when your guy was healthy and ready to go, right? And I saw a lot of people speculating maybe he's saving Estrada to close the game today. Mike Schilt has kind of shown so far this season, winning series is check, likes to mention that in the post game and all that. But man, at that moment, I thought about it for 1 second. Why wouldn't you go to Estrada? And then I thought to myself, maybe this is one of those instances where we don't know the whole story. And, of course, if you play it through, you doubt very much he's going to do in the pregame scrum. Estrada's down tonight. He's not here. He's ill. So we're not going to be able to go to him. You just keep things vague, and you make the best move you can to try to win a ball game, and that's exactly what they did last night. And, I thought it for a second, but then I thought to myself, well, you'd have to be a lunatic to not throw him out there right now after only throwing to one guy last night, and now you're going to use Suarez back-to-back nights. So today, I don't know what it means. I don't know if Estrada's feeling better. I don't know if he's going to be available, but
could Suarez go for a third straight day? Fortunately, he threw an inning and a third, but he only threw 8 pitches.
8 pitches, man.
To get those 4 outs. So there's a possibility, I would think, that he could go again today.
He's thrown 23 total pitches in the last 2 days, Benny. I mean, you look at the chart for the bullpen.
It's a day off tomorrow.
A lot of guys in the red over the last, 3 games. Brito's thrown 45 pitches. Matsui 41. De Los Santos 41. Colic 28, Morejon 24, Suarez 23. Estrada's only thrown 4, but he's ill. You got Wandy essentially down there, and listen, I understand the frustration with the home run from Enyel De Los Santos, but again, kind of forced into that role last night. If Mike Schilt managed the team based on all of the people that everyone on Twitter thinks shouldn't be used in high leverage situations, he'd have no one. Okay, do you want Johnny Brito in a high-leverage situation?
No.
Yuki Matsui?
No.
Enyel De Los Santos?
Not really.
Colic?
No.
Morejon?
Maybe. But they had already used him.
Suarez? Yes. Estrada?
Sure.
Yes, but sick. And Wandy Peralta? No.
Not really.
What is he supposed to do?
He's got to use guys.
You got to use guys. And what do those guys have to do?
Now,
They have to execute. They have to do their jobs.
It does make me want to revisit the conversation from yesterday about using Suarez in a non-save situation, a 5-run game. I'm not going to go back and rip that. We both said yesterday, at some point you need to use guys. You can't just leave them on the bench for 2 weeks because there's no save situation. We've also both acknowledged as well.
It'll probably bite them.
And I'm sure when Mike Schilt woke up and heard Jeremiah Estrada was sick and he had just used Robert Suarez in a non-save situation, he's going, Why do the baseball gods hate me? Because we could have held Suarez.
Yep.
That would have been the right decision, knowing that Estrada was going to be sick the next day, but you don't have a crystal ball. I think in the circumstances, it was right to get Suarez some work, and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite the Padres today in the final game of the series.
Yeah, and I don't know what that shapes up for Schilt today. I don't know how that looks. I mean, you're obviously want to get some length out of Michael King today, and if you don't, yeah, it can backfire on you. But look. When called upon, the guys that are called upon need to execute. Enyel, I was in such cruise control mode last night watching Enyel pitch. I thought he was doing fine. And then again, you leave one pitch up, it gets hammered, and you're like, oh, all right, now we are in deep. And luckily they pulled it out. They picked their skipper up a little bit last night, I thought.
And as for Kyle Higashioka, which you talked about how you like Higgy, we enjoyed talking to spring training.
It's great, dude.
Had to be one of the most low-key walk-off home run celebrations. He didn't smile as he was rounding the bases, didn't raise his arm in the air, got a high five from David Macias going around first, and then, as he's greeted by his teammates at home plate, gets a little excited at that point, but then post-game interview, he's back to cool as a cucumber, gets the Gatorade shower, barely flinches when it happens. He goes, yeah, I'm a catcher. I take ice baths every day.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And but I love that he said, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of getting used to being pinch hit for in that position. Nice to get one and help the team win. I love somebody said in the chat earlier, job's not finished. I love that. I love that from him. I'm a big Higgy fan, as you know, and I think he's done a really good job pressed into Ruben Niebla has never coached a knuckleballer, and Kyle Higashioka had never caught a knuckleballer. And for him to come to a new team, a new city, and they go, oh, here's your assignment, and you're going to get 3 ABs a week, I don't think you can say enough good things about what he did. Like I said, threw a guy out last night. That's been a rarity for the catchers on this team. He's been great. He's been great. He doesn't make a ton of money. He's just there to help the team win, and he's the least of any problems that this team has.
Padres did end up getting a win against a left-handed starter yesterday, even though they didn't tear him to pieces. They have won their first homestand of more than 3 games this season. They are 4-2 against the Diamondbacks and A's with 1 game remaining today. They will face another lefty this afternoon at 1:10. Lefty Hogan Harris will make his just 3rd start of the year when he goes up against Michael King. We'll have the Eco Water SoCal pregame show for you at 12:10 this afternoon. When we come back, though, you mentioned the bullpen issues, the guys that you just not feel great about counting on. That kind of involves one of the rumors, trade rumors that I was reading about this morning. We'll talk about that. And
a breaking shout out to his family.
Hall of Fame legend has passed. We'll get that news to you next year on 97.3 The Fan. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods, and as we just mentioned, just saw some sad news that broke in just the last few minutes from senior TNT NBA insider Chris Haynes, who says that legendary Hall of Famer Jerry West passed away peacefully this morning at the age of 86. His wife Karen was by his side. Jerry West, of course, Hall of Fame player, and then executive with the Los Angeles Lakers, and then a few other teams at the end of his career. I don't know that I can't now think about Jerry West without thinking about his portrayal,
of course,
in Winning Time on HBO,
which I loved, and he hated.
Over the top. He didn't love that, but I did get a chance to meet Jerry
I was
a couple of times over the years. Yeah.
Did he yell and curse at you and stuff?
No, he did not. He was a gentleman. He was a nice man. I interviewed him once. I was filling in, calling a USD basketball game at UC Santa Barbara, and he happened to be there scouting or something, and I saw him, so I went and chatted and interviewed him at halftime of the game. It was really nice.
That's cool.
And I met him a couple times. Met him a couple times growing up with my family's connection to the Lakers. My grandfather was the doctor, so definitely, absolutely. Zeke from Cabin Creek, the West Virginia native, and the logo. The logo. When he was the NBA, the silhouette of the logo. The guy who's dribbling. It's not Michael Jordan. It's Jerry West. Is the silhouette of the NBA logo. So he had a pretty big impact on the game, as you can imagine. So let's. You
know how we do it.
Let's do it.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So shout out to his family.
Rest in peace.
Jerry West passes away at the age of 86 this morning. All right, we'll get to Take on Woods in just a couple of minutes. If you want to join us, you can call in now and get in line to play our game. Qualify for a trip to Las Vegas, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Before we do that, though, I wanted to talk about just the latest nugget from The Athletic and Ken Rosenthal this morning. You mentioned the Padres have a couple of very reliable bullpen options at the back end right now.
Correct.
But it seems a little hit or miss in the middle. They've got guys who've done well and then all of a sudden blow up. And that's somewhat the nature of a bullpen.
Standard, yeah.
But it looks like that is definitely the area the Padres are going to address. Here's what Ken Rosenthal wrote this morning. Nothing earth-shattering here, but he says the Padres offense suddenly looks potent. Entering Tuesday, ranked 5th in the majors in on-base percentage, 9th in runs per game. This despite Manny Machado hitting at a league average level and Xander Bogaerts missing time with a fractured right shoulder. While the team is pursuing the White Sox, Garrett Crochet, and other starters, a shutdown right-handed reliever is the top priority for general manager A.J. Preller, according to sources briefed on his discussions. And he adds, in theory, a Crochet-Michael Kopech package could make sense, but additional relievers will become available as the deadline nears, potentially lowering the prices. So, top target is a right-handed relief pitcher. Even though they have a right-hander in Suarez and Estrada who've been getting the job done, they want one more righty relief pitcher to lengthen that bullpen a little bit.
Sounds good to me. I would sign up for that. Don't know who it will be. Don't know what it will cost. A.J. Preller has been really good at that, finding those guys over the years. So I have all the confidence in the world that he will find somebody that can help this bullpen. And, again, the having the back end covered and having starters pitching much better lately is you don't want to give those games away in the middle innings, but you do have guys that are going to be on your roster for a while. I thought Yuki Matsui was going to put me into a tailspin last night when he walked the first batter.
But then he got a magic a visit from Ruben Niebla.
Yeah.
He came out, and after 5 straight balls, he went, and I think he retired the side in about 6 more pitches after that.
Ruben just said, hey, pitch better.
Maybe next time, Yuki and Ruben just go out to the mound together to start the inning, and he has the meeting right away before the first walk is even issued.
It was a big one. I mean, getting through that inning after walking that first guy, you could feel it start to spiral. And to be able to make pitches when he needed to and get those guys was a big confidence boost for Yuki. And frankly, we need him. We need him to be good. We need Enyel De Los Santos to be good. If Stephen Kolek's going to be on the roster, we need him to be good and valuable. You cannot have a bullpen, Ben, that's made up of guys you can only pitch in a blowout, and that's where a couple of these guys are trending.
Well, most of them have been good enough in stretches that you keep having to
rolling
to
them
go
out.
to them.
Is
obviously.
it overuse in a case of NL?
I don't think that anybody's been particularly overused. I'm not going to hammer Mike Schultz.
No, I'm not hammering him either. I just he
is essentially pitching a man short with the decision to keep Stephen Kolek around. You don't know when you're going to have the blowout games that you can throw Stephen Kolek in there. And you had one where you threw him in there, and it ended up being pretty costly when he couldn't even get the final 3 outs in an 8-run game in Kansas City. So you're kind of operating on a bit of a hamstrung to begin with. Who takes the place if they traded for a right-handed reliever right now and didn't trade any of the bullpen guys they have? Who do you send down at the moment?
Well, I mean, I think you give Kolek back to the Mariners if you have to. If he's the guy that you can only use in a blowout.
But if they haven't done that yet.
You've got Johnny Brito for that. You've got, there's other guys that you
do you send Johnny Brito down? If you really want to keep Kolek,
yeah, if he's got options, and I'm sure he does, then yes. You're not sending, somebody said De Los Santos. No, you're not sending De Los Santos down. I mean, I know, again, the long ball has gotten him a couple of times, but he's been pretty effective, and like you said, he hadn't given up a run in his last 5 appearances, and I mean, it's going to happen from time to time, but you can't have 5 guys in a pen that you can't use in high leverage. It's not the recipe for success, and I don't know that that's on Mike Schilt.
We did see the change yesterday, though, in a situation where it might have been Wandy Peralta 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it was Adrian Morejon,
correct,
yesterday, who pitched a very nice inning. And now seems to be the top left-handed option out of the bullpen for the Padres.
That's exactly right. But, again, you still need to count on Wandy. You still have to count on him. He's here.
And he's a proven – I mean, he has a track record.
Correct.
He does have a good track record.
Correct. None of these guys are –
none of them are perfect.
None of them are perfect, but none of them are so bad that they shouldn't be on a roster right now. You know what I mean? So which makes it even tougher. If they're terrible, all right, well, we cut our losses and we move on. Like Usuck go. Like, there was no way he was going to pitch at this level.
Did I see that the Marlins have
cut him already? Yeah.
He's no longer in Major League Baseball or even minor league baseball at this moment. So that was a waste of $1 million,
kind of
$2 million or whatever.
More than that. I think
it was more.
It was like 4. And that bullet was dodged when you got Peter Bendix to pick up the tab on that.
So 2 year, $4.5 million.
2 year, 4.5. So yeah, I mean, dodge that bullet, great. Go out and find another one that can do it and act accordingly. They did promote, I think it's Javian Sandridge yesterday to AAA. The comp I saw.
I've seen some of the highlights from him from AA. They were pretty good,
pretty nasty. So we'll see how he does. I would expect to see him up soon.
The comp you said was a lefty.
Somebody said he's like a left-handed Jeremiah Estrada. So you'll take that. You'll take that every day.
Before we get to take on Woods, now if Padres are looking for help, but other teams are as well. We already told you the Dodgers made a deal this morning, adding Cavin Bigio from the Blue Jays. That's a pretty minor deal. The Phillies are definitely now probably thinking about trades with JT Realmuto going on the injured list. He's going to need meniscus surgery in his knee. That's a big loss for the Phillies for the next month to 2 months, likely.
He's huge for them.
He's such a core player. Now, they have other stars and will be okay, but to lose JT Realmuto is a blow for the Phillies. I would imagine they're hoping he'll be back for the stretch run, playoffs, and because they've played so well, they can absorb that for a while. They don't have to panic and make a move. They can go, let's see how we do for a while, and if we have to make a move, we have to make a move. But other teams are starting to look and see what's out there on the trade market. The Padres are not the only ones. All right, before Paulie leaves us, Adam Clug has arrived. We'll let him guide us through our game of Take on Woods, and then we'll say farewell to Paulie for the day. So go ahead, Paul. Take on Woods is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It only takes 15 minutes, and you don't have to get out of your car. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. We go to Dominic. Dominic, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
What's up,
You prefer Dominic or Dom?
Either way works. I'm looking to go 3-0 against Woods today. 3-0.
Undefeated contestant. Well, if you can,
going for a sweep.
If you can beat him or tie him, we will put you into the grand prize drawing for the trip to the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. 2-night stay. Tickets to either Smashing Pumpkins or Hootie and the Blowfish, and a $150 poolside dining credit. Summer room packages. Concert tickets are available now at FontainebleauLasVegas.com. Here are your categories, Dominic. We've got It's Not False. That one you kind of have to figure out. End Game. Those are song titles that include the word end. And we got It Ain't Nothing. Those are song titles that begin with the word something. So, It's Not False, End Game, or It Ain't Nothing. What would you like to play?
We are going to go with Endgame.
Endgame. All right, today we've got 5 song titles that include the word end. You'll have 60 seconds. I know you know how to play since you've won twice. Pass if you don't know one. Start with our 2-second song. Paulie's going to play some music. You need to give me the title and the artist to score that point. Dominic, are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, 60
seconds.
Okay, the category again is End Game. Song titles that include the word end.
All right, got it.
Paulie's ready. 60 seconds on the clock. Dominic, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
That's great. It starts with.
Jeez, no idea. Pass.
Don Henley sings Offer Up Your Best Defense in the chorus of which Grammy-nominated title track from his 1989 solo album?
Pass.
Which hit from Green Day's American Idiot album was written by Billy Joe Armstrong about his father who died of cancer when Billy was 10?
Pass.
Which single from Linkin Park's debut album in 2001 shot up to number 2 on the Billboard charts and is considered by many the group's signature?
In the End.
Correct. Tom Petty sings the verses, and the rest of the Traveling Wilburys take turns on the choruses for which 1989 hit for the Superband?
Pass.
Back to the 2-second song.
That's great. It starts with an earth.
End of the World.
Bye. Not quite. It's The End of the World as We Know It by R.E.M. You did get In the End. I think that's the only one, the 1 point this time. I don't know that undefeated streak is going to continue. Don Henley is The End of the Innocents. Green Day is Wake Me Up When September Ends. And the Traveling Wilburys is End of the Line. I think Woodsy's got this one. We'll see. Dominic, hang on. You never know. Weirder things have happened. All right, Dominic's score is locked in. Woodsy does not get the category. Reset the 60 seconds. Reset the 2-second song. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Dominic.
It's the End of the World, R.E.M.
Correct. Don Henley sings Offer Up Your Best Defense in the chorus of which Grammy
End of the Innocents.
Correct. Which hit from Green Day's American Idiot album was written by Billy Joe Armstrong about his father who died of cancer when Billy was 10?
Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Correct. Which single from Linkin Park's debut album in 2001 shot up to number 2 on the Billboard charts and is considered by many the group's signature song?
In the End?
Correct. Tom Petty sings the verses, and the rest of the Traveling Wilburys take turn on the choruses, for which 1989 hit for the Superband.
End of the Line?
That is a 5 for 5 and a 5-1 win for Woods.
Why did I get the half-assed applause?
You always do.
That was dominance.
Dominic has said
dominated Dominic.
2-0 against you. But
He
now,
was 2-0?
Now 2-1.
Sucks to
Can't get the
suck.
sweep.
Can't get the
No
sweep.
sweep.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a bad omen right there. That is a bad omen. Yeah, he won the series.
Won the series.
Won the
Hey,
series.
won the
Hey,
series.
won the series.
No alibi.
Dominic won the series.
No alibi.
Just keep doing that. You'll be fine, Dominic. You'll go plenty of Vegas trips as long as you keep winning series.
Is that our
against
boy
Woods.
Dominic from the East Coast? Or is it a local guy?
I don't know.
All right.
Might have been. All right. We will.
Local. Okay. Hi,
Local.
Dominic.
Hi, local Dominic. All right.
Sorry
Thank you for the. Thank you.
Sorry to whip that ass today.
Sorry to do it to you this morning. All right, we're going to switch out Paul Reindl for Bald Reindl.
Bald
Paulie,
Reindl's on his
hope
way
you
in.
feel
You know,
better.
He's coming to the rescue today. He's Adam Clug.
Oh, for you. He's
All right.
Bald Reindl to me.
Fair enough.
Hopefully we see you tomorrow. If not, have a good weekend. And,
Yeah,
maybe
we'll talk
see
to you
you
Monday.
I
on
will definitely try to be back by
on Monday.
Friday. Well, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
We've got a do this request from our chat.
Oh, we do?
Yes, the
Oh, yes.
the Korean
Korean call.
call of last night's
Absolutely.
walk-off winner. Of course, Got to play that and more coming up on Don't Do This next with Ben and Woods after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Craft Taco in Sorrento Valley. Craft Taco has some of the best quality tacos in all of San Diego. Go to thecrafttaco.com. Take a look at their happy hour specials today. It is thecrafttaco.com. Welcome to Adam Clug. Good morning, Adam. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning,
Going
fellas.
above and beyond the job description.
See, from my vantage point, all I see is his bald head. He's Bald Reindl. Welcome in, Bald. It's good to have you.
The ring lights that we use for our YouTube stream create quite the sheen.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Perhaps we should get Adam a makeup kit.
Yeah, do a little
for his morning appearances here, just to kind of soften the glow a little bit.
Yeah, it's very shiny.
You've also got a little shine as well.
Do I?
Yeah.
You have the jaundice filter. What is that filter that you use?
I'm the exact same lighting as you are. Do you want me to change it to the slightly whiter light? Does that look better?
That's better.
Everybody? All right. Lighting is engaged, and I will start us today on Don't Do This with maybe it's a personal gripe. Maybe everyone shares this complaint. Had a great pitchers duel last night in St. Louis. Pirates, Cardinals, scoreless into the seventh inning with the young Paul Skenes on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, going up against Miles Michaelis of the Cardinals. It was the top of the seventh, or bottom of the seventh. Skenes had thrown 6 1/3 shutout innings when he was lifted from the game.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals fans, this is in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Cardinals fans gave Paul Skenes a standing ovation as he walked off the mound. There was a guy tipping his cap repeatedly, and I know some people are going, well, that's a nice, classy gesture. Why would you, Ben, put this in Don't Do This? Don't you appreciate good, classy baseball fans? But at this point, I've decided it's just kind of obnoxious.
Really?
You're making a point of it. As all the rest of the baseball world, when I go to a game and someone shoves against my team, I understand. He pitched very well, and I appreciate it. I don't need to pump up his ego, though, and give him a nice standing ovation as he walks off the mound. I promise you, never gave Randy Johnson a standing ovation as he walked off the mound after he shoved for the Diamondbacks against the Padres in any game. Or Clayton Kershaw not getting a standing ovation when he has a good outing against the San Diego Padres. And that doesn't make me or Padres fans or any other fan base worse fans than the St. Louis Cardinals fans. But everyone today is going to go, wow, what great fans the Cardinals fans. Did you see that standing ovation they gave to Paul Skenes? Guess what? The Pirates turned that into a 2-1 win late in the game. Maybe buoyed by the St. Louis fans and their support. They went on to beat the St. Louis team 2-1 in the late innings.
Adam sent this over last night in the group text, and you responded obnoxious. And I didn't respond. Mostly because I went, oh, that's kind of cool. Am I soft now?
Maybe you're getting soft in your old age.
Adam just grimaced at me.
I mean, if the guy's got a perfect game or a no-hitter or something. But
there's an 8-hitter.
He
gave up 5 hits. He struck out 8. Michaelis was even better. He went 7 innings, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts.
You know, I will say this, and I asked Ben this question earlier, Adam. Is Paul Skenes a transcendent pitcher or on the path of being a transcendent pitcher?
Much too early to say.
Well, you say that, but when I was in here with Annie and Craig one day when he was pitching during the day, I think it was his second career start. I said between his age and the fact that he's so early in his rookie contract, etc., I think he might be the most valuable pitching asset in baseball.
Well, and
you wouldn't trade him straight up for even Garrett Cole, who's hurt and has a $300 million contract. This guy's got 6 years of control for dirt. He's that good and that valuable.
Well, he's also, I'm sitting in pickup line the other day going, oh, he's throwing? I got to watch. He's like a Pirate starting pitcher. When has that happened? Since,
he's intriguing. He's very intriguing.
You're underselling it.
You're underselling it. He's fascinating. Randy Vasquez is intriguing. Paul Skenes
might be a top 10 or 15 starting pitcher in baseball already.
He's appointment viewing. I honestly, I had no effing problem with them saying, hey, nice work tonight, kid. I really didn't, but I'm getting ripped in the chat. I don't care. I like good. I don't have a rooting interest for either team. I do think maybe it's the Cardinals, and maybe they're doing a little bit of eyewash. They do call themselves baseball's best fans, but I would tip my cap to Paul Skenes. He's pretty fun to watch.
You do that next time we'll probably see him at Petco Park later this season.
Maybe I
kind of
won't.
hoping we dodge him.
Yeah, I do too.
Other people want to see him at Petco Park.
All right. Well, one thing I think we can all agree on: you got to stop running on the field if you're a fan. And this happened last night at Great American Ballpark during the 9th inning of the game.
So I saw this video. I wasn't sure what exactly had happened.
Well, it's Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Guardians. Dude runs on the field, and a police officer approaches him and kind of comes up behind him, and this kid is able to get off a full backflip and then tries to run away. Sticks the landing. And next thing you know, officer reaches, tases him.
Okay, I thought maybe he had tripped, but he got tased.
Yeah. He was wearing a throwback Johnny Bench jersey, ran in the outfield, appeared to say something to Cleveland Guardians outfielder Tyler Freeman, which, by the way, pretty terrifying for Tyler Freeman to be out there, and here comes some idiot on the field. So the officer deployed the taser. The fan hit the ground. He is 19-year-old.
I am terrified of tasers, by the way. Have you ever been tased?
No, God, no. I'm terrified
for
of
a radio stunt?
Never.
I don't like it when I get a static shock on like the doorknob.
You know how I feel about shocks. It's terrible.
Not good.
Jay, our old producer, built a shock chair, and he had wires that ran over the arms, and you'd have to sit and answer questions, like an electric chair. And he'd be like, all right, Wood. And he'd ask me a question, I'd get it wrong, and I hated it. I do not like. I'm terrified of tasers.
Electricity, not a fan. Other than, all the good things it does. Lighting.
Yeah, lighting things.
Such, televisions,
19-year-old William Hendon of Cleves is in jail. And he's charged with obstructing official business, a misdemeanor, and felony criminal trespass.
What game was this?
The Guardians and Reds last
That's
night.
Official business.
That's official business. So
they
got
Ohio.
him.
That's 2 Ohio teams. They're going to throw the book at you in Ohio for that.
He got the backflip off. So
that's 20 years probably.
You got your clout. Well done, sir.
Good backflip.
Yeah, people are calling me soft, surprisingly soft. I don't know. I appreciate good pitching.
All right. As requested, it's time for a little do this. Adam, if you give us the do this sounder, if you can find that.
Whenever you're ready.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Drive that level down
nice
a little bit. Nice and loud. Just right
Everyone in San Diego just heard that. Thank you. All right. We heard Jesse Agler's call of the walk-off. You probably heard Don Orsillo's last night. But what about the Korean call of last night's walk-off Kyle Higashioka home run?
Elite.
Here's how it sounded.
볼넷 출루했습니다만.
Goodbye? Yeah, phenomenal.
와, 소름 돋네요. 히가시오카. 이렇게 되면 지금 5경기에서 4개 홈런. 한 방이는 히가시오카입니다.
시즌 5번째 홈런은 이 경기를 끝내는 굿바이 홈런입니다.
Love it.
It's a lot of goodbyes.
A lot of goodbyes.
A lot of Higashiokas in there.
Caught a home run in there. Fantastic. Thank you, Baldrindle. Thank you, Ben. Let's don't do this and do this.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Johnny said if the Padres do that thing where they win today, that I have to get tased. Nope.
No. Bald Reindl has already agreed to eat a handful of jelly beans for any sweep.
You're not supposed to say
that's right.
it.
Sorry.
Well, kiss it goodbye.
Yeah.
Here they are.
We already know it. They're here. They're standing by for tomorrow.
Just getting more.
If it does happen. But we know it's not going to happen.
Right.
Padres are addicted to 500.
Well, and again, the way that it's played out all season. Chance to sweep at the day game on Wednesday. Off day on Thursday. We get Schilt after a loss on Friday, and then he yells at me.
Left-handed starting pitcher today.
Correct.
I mean, bet the farm on the A's.
It's not looking good, man. It is not looking good.
Haven't seen Mason Miller yet in this series. Going to pitch at some point today.
Oh, yeah. You better get 9 in the first, man. God.
All right. I think Adam Jones right now is a coin flip.
Yeah, coin flip.
We'll find out if a Big League Wednesday gets us started. Coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
A text from our beloved Sammy Levitt. He said, also, he's dating a huge social media star, an athlete in her own right, Livy Dunn. This was about Skenes. Yeah, 100%. Tip your hat to that man every chance you get.
There was the video when he was in college that was going around where he was fired up and like screaming in his own locker room at his teammates and pointing at them, going, I outwork you, I work harder than you, I outwork you, I outwork you. It's obnoxious.
Is that possible to love something and hate it at the same time and admire it, but also be like, what an a-hole?
I think you just did.
Is it inspiring? Would it make me want to work harder? I think the answer is yes. But I also, listen, I think that there is that mentality. I think Michael Jordan had that mentality. I just watched a thing the other day, Ben. It was about Kobe Bryant. And so they were doing a podcast, and they were talking about Kobe. And one of the guys goes, man, I asked Kobe one time, why don't you pass the ball a lot? And he said, why the F would I pass the ball? When these dudes show up 5 minutes before practice and they leave at the whistle, why would I pass that guy the ball? I'm there 2 hours before. I'm there 2 hours after. Why would I pass him the ball? Why wouldn't I take the shot? I'm the one working. And Kobe would straight up say that to their faces. I don't think it's any different. I really don't. I think it's the same mentality. And I think it's obnoxious, yes. And I wouldn't want to work with you if you were that way, and you wouldn't want to work with me if I was that way. But I do think you have to have that mentality, even if you don't say it. I think it takes a special person to say it out loud. You better be real confident in your abilities to do things like that, and clearly he is.
The Padres play the Pirates 6 times in a 9-game span in August, which means really good chance, if he's healthy, that they will be facing Paul Skenes at some point. I think it would have to line up absolutely perfectly for him to miss them.
Right.
There's also the possibility they could have to face him twice in less than 10 days. And a team, the Pirates, by the way, absolutely in the thick of the wild card race right now, especially after their win over the Cardinals yesterday. This thing is an absolute
it's a
log
show,
jam.
man.
Padres actually picked up a game on just about everybody else yesterday. Padres are only 2.5 games behind the Braves for the wild card lead at this point. The Braves,
they're in a free fall,
are struggling. They've lost 4 in a row. They've dropped to 35-29. Really have been struggling since the loss of Ronald Acuna Jr. Now, of course, they overcame that loss to win a World Series a couple of years ago, but has not been going as well this year. The Giants and the Pirates are currently tied for the 3rd wild card spot, both 2 games under 500, and they're just a half a game ahead of the Diamondbacks, Reds, Cubs, and Cardinals, and just a game ahead of the Washington Nationals. So lots of teams that absolutely think they're in the mix right now for one of the playoff spots in the National League, and the Pirates, one of them at this point. Now, that'll be post-trade deadline. Teams are going to have to face some tough choices if there's still this many clubs that are in it in July. Do you go all in? Do you take advantage of other teams trying to go all in and get a huge haul, but kind of have to wave the white flag? Can you do both?
Yeah, I think you can do both.
Can you walk the line of both of trying to compete, but also taking a look at where the market is and trying to take advantage of it?
Yeah, I think you can do both, and I think there's going to be teams. You don't want to signal that to your fan base, and I think there's a couple of teams that obviously can, and I think their fan base, not that they understand, but they get it. They're pragmatic in it and go, yeah, we're the Marlins. We're not going to go on some magical run, right? So if you have to unload a Jesus Luzardo or a bullpen piece or somebody else, I think they'll understand why you're doing that, Benjamin. So, but I think there are teams that are going to probably buy on the margins, and the San Diego Padres might be one of them because of a few different reasons. You've traded. What did we say?
They've already bought big.
They've bought
more
big
than
already.
Any other team this year.
And that's cost them what, 4 prospects or 8 prospects, right? And then there's the financial constraints. So again, GM's going to have to do some serious GMing to get it done. But I expect some margin buys, certainly.
One of those prospects who was traded away in the Dylan Cease deal made his major league debut last night. Drew Thorpe.
Yep.
Got his first start for the Chicago White Sox and looked pretty decent. Went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned against the Seattle Mariners.
5 Ks or something? 4
Yeah,
Ks?
I think so. He left with the lead, ended up losing the game. He didn't take the loss. He got a no decision. The Mariners rallied after he was gone, but an admirable opener for Drew Thorpe. Now, we never really got to know him. For whatever reason, it hurts less just because he was only a Padre for
a few weeks,
couple months before he was traded for Dylan Cease. You can't really have that attitude if you're A.J. Preller. Once they're on your team, they're just as valuable as anybody else. They're as valuable as a Dylan Lesko or a Robbie Snelling. Even though you didn't draft them and develop them, they're now an asset for your team. You could have kept him. You decided to trade him for Dylan Cease. I'm not saying it was a bad decision at all, but that we'll see what the consequences are of making that choice as Drew Thorpe goes through his big league career. We're just 5 innings into it at this point.
Yeah, just like every single trade you make, there's going to be consequences and ones you want to take back. Listen, it was a deal for Juan Soto. So, I mean, it's always going to hurt.
A couple more notes before we get to traffic from baseball last night. Maybe it's June, getting hot around the rest of the country at least. Ball seems to be flying more. Aaron Judge hit his 25th. Giancarlo Stanton murdered a ball for his 16th home run. Yankees beat the Royals 10-1. Kyle Schwarber there's 2 red-hot Kyles right now. Schwarber and Higashioka in Major League Baseball. Schwarber hit 2 more home runs last night in a Phillies 4-1 win over the Red Sox. And the Dodgers hit 4 home runs in 1 inning. 6th inning in a 15-2 win over the Texas Rangers. I believe Teoscar Hernandez and Shohei Ohtani, both part of the going deep faction for the Dodgers last night.
Okay, traffic.
No comment. Traffic next, and then I got a couple of local notes. As you can tell, we have not heard from Adam Jones, so vamping a little bit, but I got a couple local notes for you next year on 97.3 The Fan.
I want to talk about some of the responses to your tweet last night, which I don't understand.
Fair. Yeah. Let's do that with Manny Machado. Yeah. All right, that's next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Got a couple of problems here. Southbound 15 before the 5, a collision blocking that right lane. Also troubling in the North County, westbound 78, right past Melrose. There is a collision involving a couple vehicles. That is in the center divide. Stop by any of the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. It usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what percentage of the Padres fan base thinks this way, but I can promise you it was more than one. I got a couple of mentions in my my tweets, my ats last night, even early in the game, especially after Manny grounded into the double play in the bottom of the first inning, with people asking, why is he in the lineup? Put him on the injured list. Get him healthy. He's hurting the ball club. And I didn't say anything at the time. Then, of course, Manny comes out and he scalds one in his second at-bat, line out.
Almost hit it through Andujar.
114 miles an hour. Scalds one in his third at-bat into the gap, 111 miles an hour. And then bloops a single in his last at-bat. Has had 4 hits in the 2 games since he's returned to the designated hitter role. I'm not sure what the point is. Yes, he is a station-to-station runner at this point, which he's pretty much, even when he's healthy, is a station-to-station runner. Occasionally, Manny, because he's a smart base runner,
go first to third on you.
We'll grab one, take an extra base on you. He's not going to be doing that right now, but that doesn't take away the vast majority of his value, which was always in his bat
and glove,
and his glove, which he's not out there, but he was taking ground balls yesterday. I just don't see why you wouldn't want Manny in the lineup. There are Padres fans out there who really think that.
Did the Red Sox not want Ortiz to hit because he was slow?
I'm pretty sure they were very happy to have him DHing.
Right.
Even without speed as one of his tools.
I mean, J.D. Martinez, the list goes on and on. If you can swing it, you're valuable, and he's been swinging it. I don't understand this bit.
Yeah, when I pointed out how, I mean, even after he had his hits and it was swinging, it was pointed out by one person. That's cool and all, but he can barely make it to first or beyond after getting contact. Still a hindrance rather than an asset at this point.
Because of the legs that he doesn't really have and has never really had? I don't get it. I don't see how he hinders your team. And I do think if he didn't play, he would catch more. Hey, Manny's actually fine to go, but we're not going to play him tonight. I just don't understand that at $35 million a year.
Is it because you want Tyler Wade out there so badly? You're going to call up, Eggy's been playing pretty well, I think, at AAA, but there's not there's not some option that you're keeping on the bench.
What are we talking about?
Who's going to be better than Manny Machado at this point?
Purple says Manny's glove is not an asset. He's a negative defender at the moment. Is that true?
Metrically, I thought his metrics were decent. Last year, they were much better. I'm not a big believer in the eye test, but if there ever was an eye test, Manny is a good defender.
Do you think he's not a very good defender? That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I understand.
I compare him to Donovan Solano out there, and I know Manny is a much better defender than Donovan Solano is at third base.
Okay,
no offense.
He's -2 outs above average right now on June 11th or 12th or whatever. I mean, he's worlds better at third base than Donovan Solano, Tyler Wade, or Eggy Rosario, or anybody else you want to put out there. Worlds. He's already made some ridiculous plays this season. And obviously when healthy
he did make one error. I remember that.
I remember that.
Made an error.
Yep.
I think that's the only one, though.
I mean,
what
are we talking?
I believe in numbers. I trust numbers.
What are we talking about?
When it comes to the defensive metrics for Manny Machado, they've always seemed a little off. My eyes always tell me that Manny is better than the numbers seem to indicate, and I don't know why that is. Maybe someone can explain to me exactly how those numbers are calculated. I don't know how outs above average are calculated. I assume it has to do with how far you have to go to get a ball at times, and how fast the runner is, whether you throw him out. And Manny's got a terrific arm. It's very accurate. He gets, great hands, makes really good decisions.
One error since last August,
yes.
But he hasn't gotten to a couple of balls, so that skews his metrics.
He's gotten to a lot of them, too. I mean, he makes smart plays. They threw out a runner at the plate, a week or two ago, just a really nice play on the move.
Again, if you're up there and you're hitting the ball 114 miles an hour, 106 miles an hour, and 111 miles an hour off the bat, you're not hurting this team, period. You're not, and you're going 2 for 4.
Yes, you're going to hit a lot of double plays when you hit the ball hard,
bro. And
it goes on the ground sometimes.
You're still you still manage. He hits a bleeder and gets a knock. So that's that to me.
And the double play he hit into would have been a double play even if Tatis was running.
100%.
He hit 106 miles an hour right at the shortstop.
Yeah,
that's the easiest double play in the world once you fielded that ball.
I mean,
had nothing to do with his legs.
The bat's finally coming around a little bit. The sliders are in the red on expected batting average, average exit velo, bat speeds catching up, hard hit percentage, all in the red. Chasing a little bit too much, whiffing a little bit too much. I still think his timing is a touch off, but how nice would it be to be that good where your timing's off and you're still ripping the ball 114 miles an hour, 111 miles an hour, and 106 miles an hour? I don't look at that as a hindrance because he's not at full strength with his legs. I mean, if the designated hitter, his job is to hit, mission accomplished, right? JD Martinez. I mean, go down the list of guys that are DHs for teams. You don't. His knee's a little sore. He can only go station to station. What? Of course they're going to be in there, right? Every time. It doesn't make any sense.
Not every player. In fact, most players not going to have every of the 5 tools all the time.
Correct.
You're hoping to have 2 or 3 of them would be great.
3 working at one time, I think, is pretty good.
Manny doesn't have a speed tool.
Yep.
Never did. It's a little worse right now with the hip flexor strain.
He did when he was 21. Yeah. And a couple knee surgeries, a bum ankle. It doesn't make sense. Like if he's swinging the bat like that, hitting the ball that hard, he's absolutely your best option at DH. Period. What are you talking about? You want him on the bench? $35 million a year? Doesn't make sense to me.
You want to join us, 833-288-0973. I can grab a couple of calls. I mentioned I had a couple of local notes. You probably saw the headlines yesterday. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl announced that they're going to be moving the game from Petco Park to Snapdragon Stadium beginning this December. No date or even matchup necessarily because the Pac-12 is gone. They're going to have to redo the matchups. I have no problem with it. They were very excited about moving it to Petco Park 3 years ago. They actually put a lot of time and money into rebuilding the stadium at Petco Park so it could accommodate a football field.
Yeah.
And they talked about how being everything downtown is going to be great. The parade, the hotels, they're all down there. So they're kind of going back on that when they're taking it to Snapdragon Stadium. For me personally, I think college football, bowl games, the tailgating's the fun part. and Snapdragon Stadium is better for that. People can still stay downtown.
Can I
Just
say
come
though,
down for the game?
Can I say that I do like bowl games in stadiums? I like when they play
baseball.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The Yankee,
I think it looks
the
cool.
Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah, and I thought it looked cool
did.
at Petco.
It did. There was definitely an odd corner where it was
Yeah.
like end zone, 3 inches wall. It could be a problem,
which is awesome. I think in its own right, but it didn't blow my hair back.
Also, this morning, Jay Billis revealed the matchups for the Players Era Festival. That's the NIL tournament that San Diego State has been invited to this fall. That each team is going to get like $1 million in NIL money, and the winner is going to get another $1 million. The matchups for the 8-team tournament are Houston versus Alabama, Rutgers versus Notre Dame, Oregon versus Creighton, and San Diego State will play Texas A&M in the first-round matchup. So the first 3 games that they'll play, I think it's Thanksgiving week in Las Vegas in this NIL tournament. I have no idea if Texas A&M expected to have a really good team or not a great team, but they'll take on an SEC opponent in the first round. Jay Billis had that news this morning. All right, we got some calls on the line. Maybe people want to react to Manny Machado.
Sure.
We can do that when we come back.
The lightning rod.
Brett Boone is going to join us at 8:35. And, I have a story I want to share that was passed along from Tier 1 Kim Higgins, my mother, yesterday. So we'll get to that next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
Wednesday, a walk-off Wednesday, if you will. Ben and Woods 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you. I'm Woodsy. That's Bald Reindl, a.k.a. Adam Clug, filling in for Paulie, who's under the weather. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. What did you have? What did Mama Higgins say?
So I just wanted to say it is a privilege, and I forget this sometimes as you wake up really early in the morning and it's dark and dragging yourself to work to do a morning show.
With me.
It's a privilege to have the opportunity to be able to connect with our audience, our tier ones out there, and hopefully when things go really well, brighten someone's day, improve someone's mood. Just, you're a funny guy. We laugh a lot on this program, and we try to make it.
I'm funny like a clown?
Yeah.
Like I'm here to
exactly
amuse you?
like a clown. You are literally here to amuse me, yes.
The way you tell the story.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's funny. Well, it's how you tell the story.
What's so funny about me?
Yeah, so my mom shared this story that was passed actually along to her about a woman that my dad and brother work with at their office in Sorrento Valley. Patty manages the office, has done so for a long time. Nice lady. And apparently Patty and her friend go on a regular walk through like the village of Carlsbad. Like almost every day they go and do this walk, and they pass usually the same homeless man who lives there and
unhoused.
Thank
you. Jeez.
Unhoused man who lives there, and they are friendly. They chat with him every night. Seems to be a nice guy, and so they kind of formed this, relationship, as it were, as they go by. And they were walking yesterday, and he's sitting there, and he is just laughing and laughing and laughing. And they ask, "What's so funny?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm listening to this radio show. It's Ben and Woods.
Get out of here!
It's so funny." And they just crack me up, and I listen all the time. And so whoever you are, I don't know his name, but if you are listening right now somewhere unhoused in Carlsbad Village, we appreciate you. And if there's anything we can do,
please let us know. I'm dead serious about that. Please let us know. That's very touching.
Yeah.
Very, very touching indeed.
I'm not the kind of person, of the two of us, I'm not the one who usually gets touched, but that one even got to me a little bit.
That's amazing, man. That is amazing. And yeah, if you're listening right now, please find a way to reach out through social media or something, and be happy to help, man. Really, really happy to help. That's incredible. That's kind of a mind blower, actually. Also, speaking of mind blowing today, I know there's a lot of parents going through this right now. Today's my little guy's last day of kindergarten, and to say that I'm a wreck is beyond beyond words.
Big kindergarten promotion ceremony, kindergarten graduation today.
Now the funny thing is where he
little
goes,
diplomas.
where he goes to school. I've told the stories.
Cap and gown.
I've told the stories. They've had a party for every single thing.
And you always have to show up every single time.
It makes me go to them, and then I stand in the corner and I watch them do arts and crafts, and I always look at Hannah and I go,
"Why did we have to be here?
Why am I here? Why am I here?"
But you're excited about this one. You are excited to go celebrate your son's end of kindergarten today.
There isn't one. It's basically just another day. The only thing they're doing differently is that they get a half day. So I said to Hannah, I go, "So what's she goes, "No, nothing." She goes, "I'm going to go volunteer and be there and be at the end and take them home. And then they're going to go to the fair. We're going to meet them at the fair later. Today's fair day." And I said, "Well, there's no cap and gown or anything?" She goes, "No, not that I know of. I haven't heard anything." And I go, "We have had a party in that classroom for every single thing. And they're not doing," she goes, "I think it starts in first grade."
What grades did you celebrate the end of? Because most of the time,
sixth.
Most of the time growing up, the last day of school was simply the last day of school.
Yeah.
And then you go to summer vacation. I went to all year-round school. So literally, my last day of third grade was a Friday, and my first day of fourth grade was a Monday. You'd have a weekend off, and you just start the next grade.
Wait, what?
I didn't have summer break. I went to year-round school in elementary school.
Really?
Yeah. We still had vacations. They were just split up throughout the year. So you'd have one.
Was it a private school?
No, public school in Encinitas.
That's how they did it.
Yeah, you had 4 tracks. We had track. I was on track D. There was track A, B, C, and D. And basically, you just every 3 weeks a new track goes on vacation for 3 weeks, and then you do school for 9 weeks, and then you're off for 3 weeks, and it just rotates throughout the year. So I didn't have a summer break. I believe we had August, we had like 3 or 4 weeks off, and then November I had 3 weeks off, and February I had some time off, and then that was, instead of a full summer, it was split up throughout the year. It's actually not bad.
That's actually, I mean, for parents, it's fantastic.
Summer can be very long when, you get to the end of it and it's like, how are we going to entertain people? What are we going to do? If families want to go on vacation, it's not like you have to go in the summer. They can pick different times of the year when you go on vacation. So, yeah, that was the year-round school system in the Encinitas School District when I was growing up.
That's fair enough. But
we only celebrated, I think, 6th grade, and then 8th grade was my junior high middle school graduation, and then 12th grade. That's it.
I don't remember. I don't care about that. Like, I'm going to celebrate him. We're going to go out to dinner, and I'm very proud of him. I mean, he switched schools 6 weeks into kindergarten. That's a big transition, and he handled it like a boss. And I'm very, very proud of him. And he's just thrived and thriving. And so yeah, he's last day of kindergarten today. I know a lot of folks are going through it right now. And but I feel like I was a little bit robbed of, I want to go watch him get the little diploma with the little cap and gown and all that. I have to do it at home, I guess.
I feel like the pressure starts in 1st grade.
I told him that. I said it really gets real.
It's a grade. The grade's right in there. It's not kindergarten grade. It's just kindergarten. But once you get to 1st grade, you're graded. People are watching. This goes on your permanent record now.
Yes. These are grades, I think. So I told him it's about to get really serious, and he's ready. He's ready for the work. But
Adam, what grades are your kids in now?
Just completed 4th and 1st grades.
Okay.
So,
how's the pressure on them? The homework piling up?
No pressure. It's just crazy to think about. So in a couple months or whatever, my daughter will be going into 5th grade, which is her last year of elementary school.
Yeah, they have the 6th, 7th, 8th middle school, junior high.
That's when the 6th grade is really when you probably start to see the boys. The boys are more interested than they were.
I don't want to think about it.
Well, it's happening. I'm just going to tell you. You can ignore it all you want, but it's happening right now. Like when this summer, the 6th grade is when you finally
puberty.
Yeah, puberty. But you look up and you go, I'm kind of interested in my friends are fine, but there's something there.
It's not everyone. Yeah, in 6th grade, it's like some, but not others.
Yeah. 100%.
There's that one kid already starts to have a mustache.
He drives already.
It's a little weird.
He's got a family at home. Yeah, there's the one kid that sprouts up over the summer, comes back full stash.
Paul Skenes was that kid.
Yeah, he's throwing 86. He's throwing 86 from the mound in Little League. But shout out to my son, Bo. I love you. I'm very proud of you. And for all you parents out there going through it, it's wild, man. It does go quickly.
I did open the phone lines if people wanted to talk about the Padres and the Manny Machado slander. Why would you not want Manny in the lineup if he's available? If he's available,
especially
who do you want in there instead?
Especially if he's barreling baseballs. That's what you pay him for.
833-288-0973 if you want to join us. We got Pedro calling in this morning. Good morning, Pedro. Welcome to Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Good morning. Good morning.
How we doing, buddy?
First time caller, long time listener.
Good to have you, man.
Real quick, so I was there last night. It was awesome to see Kyle get that knock at the 9th inning. It was amazing.
It was such a cool moment, man. Such a cool moment. I rarely call the walk-off home run, and I told Hannah he's going to end it with one swing, which was like, there's no reason that Kyle Higashioka should have hit that walk-off last night, but he did. And always feels good when you can get one right. You were there in the house. That's awesome.
Yes. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm in section 218, man, and it was a blast. Everyone was lit. The ball was going towards us on the foul line, but I could have my eyes on it the whole time, and the whole crowd just stood on their feet. Man, it's amazing to see the support with Petco, but on the topic of Manny, I think he's like the MVP, meaning Manny's, day-to-day valuable presence. He's putting the ball in play. Yeah, his valuable presence is putting the ball into play, his leadership. When everyone gets a knock, gets a homer, comes across the plate, he's there to greet him along with Tatis.
100%.
He's not doing what we're used to seeing across the board when he was in Baltimore, but I think he's making his connection. He's getting in his groove right now. So hopefully after this all-star break to come, or even before that, he could just be on fire for the team. And when he's on fire, it contributes and it ignites everyone else. So it's important.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And again, like, I think, he's not going to be an all-star this year. So take that time to heal up. And again, I've always admired somebody that isn't 100% and gives everything they can. I like that a lot. I think that's something that's important. But, man, Jay says he's putting the ball in play all right into double plays. I mean, again, you're really minimizing the quality of the AB. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, Eric Cosme used to hit the ball hard and right into the ground. Manny also got 2 knocks last night. He almost hit one through the left fielder. Like, he's getting right.
What's the difference between a 106-mile-an-hour grounder for a double play and a 106-mile-an-hour grounder for a single?
An inch. 2.
Nothing, really.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean,
just
nothing.
keep hitting the ball hard.
Nothing you can control. At that point, it's just kind of random fate. And Manny hasn't had a lot of good luck this year. He is also tennis elbow, surgery, hip flexor, strain. He's not going to be the best version of Manny Machado this year. Probably not all year. Are we going to see the best version of Manny Machado? Have we been seeing a slowly better version of Manny Machado for the most part?
Yeah.
I think we have.
Yeah,
100%. The liners are getting harder. The balls are getting more consistently hit. The swings are getting better. And again, there's no one else. You want Tyler Wade or Donovan Solano out there
to get everyday DH?
It's just
ABs.
You don't have anyone else that you'd want out there other than Manny. Hopefully, he'll be back at third base before too long. Let's go out to Brian. You are next up here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, fellas. How's everybody today?
Good, man.
Good. Hey, Manny's got his struggles, right? As you chronicled, he's got some injuries. He's recovering from some injuries and everything. But I think the thing, and I'm self-proclaimed, I'm a Yankees fan. I am not a Padres fan. I moved here from New York State. But the Padres are going through what the Yankees went through back in the late 80s and before the Jeter and Core Ford dynasty. They've signed all these high-priced free agents. There's no leadership on this club. There is no leadership on this club. And Manny, as the senior statesman, if you will, the elder statesman, what's he doing? I don't see any leadership from him. And I know we're not in the clubhouse and we don't get to experience that piece. But guys just don't, the sense of urgency is not there. And somebody like Manny, I feel like he should be driving that. Maybe Coffee should be driving that.
I think you actually have a good point here, Brian, and thank you for the call. Manny does lead. He doesn't lead in the way that maybe Bryce Harper does or Aaron Judge does. They have different personalities. Manny leads the way his personality allows him to lead, and he leads by example, by working hard, by posting. He's not necessarily a verbal.
Isn't he, though? Didn't he just...
Well, I mean, we saw the moment when he went and talked to Adam Major, which was great. I've seen the reports for Juan Soto where he's immediately felt more comfortable in the Yankees clubhouse than he ever did in the Padres clubhouse. Is that an indictment on maybe some of the Padres players that they maybe felt threatened a little bit by Juan Soto as opposed to welcoming Juan Soto and a credit to the Yankees? There's a possibility that is part of the factor why Juan Soto has thrived a little bit more with the Yankees than he is with the Padres. I don't think it means Manny doesn't lead and is not a leader. It's definitely an area that he has improved on throughout his career. He's gotten better at it, I think, as the years go on. Is he the number one guy in baseball when it comes to all facets of leadership? No. Do I feel comfortable with Manny being kind of face of the franchise and the guy in the clubhouse? I do. I do, as a fan, feel like you could do a lot worse than Manny Machado as well.
Yeah, man, I have no issue with it. Somebody said instead of piling on Manny, we need to celebrate Profar and Merrill more. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Jackson Merrill has been a revelation, and as good as he's been, he's actually been a little bit better. He's been a little bit better than the numbers even lead out. He is leading all rookies with hits. He's got the most hits of any rookie, I believe, in the NL, maybe the entire MLB. Or is that right? Number one rookies, the most hits of any rookie in the NL.
Well, he certainly has gotten a lot of playing time and opportunities and hits, so it wouldn't surprise me if he has the most hits of any rookie.
Yeah, I think he does. I think that was the graphic they showed up last night. But Adam had sent us over some numbers, and AJ Cassavell had talked about it as well. As far as how unlucky he's gotten as well. And again, it's process. I'm going to ask Booney this: when you're going good and balls are falling for you, you feel like you're doing everything right, even though sometimes you've got a crap swing. You didn't really get that, but you got lucky. When you're barreling baseballs and you feel like your process is right, but you're not getting results. How hard is it to just stay the course? It's happened to Tatis this year. It's happened to Jackson Merrill this year. Obviously, Tatis is broken out of it. Everything's fallen for him now. I think patience is a virtue. Patience is key for these guys as they go through their season, especially a rookie trying to adjust, knowing that everyone's adjusting to him.
Yeah, the expected numbers, the X OBA and the X BA and the X slug for Jackson Merrill, quite a bit higher. Like his expected slugging percentage is 100 points higher than his actual slugging percentage. He has been unlucky on some of his hard hit balls to the outfield this year. He should be getting on base. He should be hitting for an even higher average. His expected batting average over 300.
Crazy, man.
Based on the balls that he's hit. So not lucky on the BABIP. And he still put up really, really good numbers, especially for a rookie who's playing a brand new position.
Yeah, incredible
this year.
Incredible. So, there's tons of celebration for Merrill, tons of celebration for Profar. Hope that he's okay. Have not gotten an update on his knee yet. Hopefully he's back in there today.
But, of course, the hottest player on the Padres, and we only mentioned him briefly at the beginning of the show, is Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's unreal.
Is he 100% back in your mind? We'll talk about that. Brett Boone's going to join us coming up as well. This hour on Ben Woods is brought to you by Frozen Ropes Summer Baseball League and Camps. This week, last chance to register your ball player ages 6 through 12 for the Baseball Summer League. It's going to be awesome summer of player development and competition. Registration closes this Friday, June 14th. Go to SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. Back after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
claws up by the chest. And the pitch to Tatis is lined sharply into right field and a base hit. Cut off in the gap by Brown. Gets it in quickly. First inning single for Fernando. No drama, no waiting around. That is a 17-game hitting streak. He becomes only the second Padre this century to have a 17-game hitting streak. It was done twice in 2006 by Adrian Gonzalez.
Hitting streaks are fascinating.
And awesome.
Meaningless, but fascinating.
Meaningless.
Well,
so hard.
When you lose them, it's usually on something. It's weird. Like you go 0 for 1 with 3 walks.
Yeah.
And that's the end of your hitting streak.
Where you hit 4 seeds right at somebody.
And
sometimes to keep them going, you hit a little ass-out bleeder down the line and it falls.
It doesn't feel like it should be that hard. I mean, guys get 4 or 5 at-bats. You bleed one in. Occasionally, you'll see those Ketel Marte 20-game hitting streaks where you go 1 for 4 every night. And it's like, that's not that remarkable. But then there's a guy like Tatis who's just on a tear right now and hitting the ball just with authority almost every single at-bat. And this truly is a very impressive 17-game hitting streak. I wish I could think of a way that Joe DiMaggio's streak could be threatened someday. I mean, think how far he is. 17-game hitting streak, which is the longest, as Jesse said, this century for the Padres, matching Adrian Gonzalez in 2006. He'd need to do it again, 17 more, and then again, 17 more, and then he'd still have another 5 more to go to tie DiMaggio. And a 5-game hitting streak ain't nothing, but he'd need 3 of those in a row and then some to get to the all-time record. He'd need 2 17-game hitting streaks in a row just to get to the Padres' all-time record of 34 straight by Benito Santiago in his rookie season. So they're always fascinating. I'm always cheering for them as soon as they get to this level. But ultimately, I know it'll end for Tatis on some weird, dumb day. Occasionally you run in just to an ace who's absolutely hot and only gives up 2 hits in a game, and you didn't get one of them. But I have no reason to think it's going to stop this afternoon.
No.
It's Hogan Harris of the Oakland A's. I like Fernando's chances to make it 18 today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mark Grant was going to jinx the first at bat. He came up and Mud goes, I like his chances to keep it going tonight. I'm like, Mud, shut up. And then right to the right. So he's locked in right now, man. He just looks like a beach ball to him, and it's so good to see him. And I'm so glad that again they decided to stick with him, Ben, and ride him out, and realize that the process was going well, and it's really paying off for him right now. I'd love to keep it going. We've said it all year, man. The star's got a star, and he's one of our stars, and he has been outstanding.
Did you feel like yesterday's game was at all a breakthrough against a left-handed starter?
Not really. No, I mean,
they only scored 3 runs.
Yeah,
could have been 0 if Sears had actually covered first base.
If he covers the bag, they're out of that inning.
But they did get 7 hits off of him.
Yeah.
They hit some balls hard that didn't fall in. I saw at least signs of you're not flailing up there against lefties.
Yeah.
He only struck out 1 batter.
I feel like
they took some walks.
I feel like that's been a theme too.
Yeah.
Not getting dominated by lefties, just not balls aren't falling for whatever reason. So, hey man, anytime we can beat a lefty, yes, that's like one more step towards maybe solving them. And again, that was your first one. You're going to get 3 lefties the next 3 days, I do believe. So you're going to have to do it again. It's baseball. You get to do it again, but you're going to have to do it again today.
Not a ton of tape on today's starter. It's just his 3rd start of the season. Hogan Harris going for the A's. I don't know if Jurickson Profar will be available or not.
Yeah, I mean, think about it
Might
right now.
Might be a sugar day against a lefty to get Jurickson a day off, possibly. We'll see how he feels when he probably get into the ballpark shortly.
Think about the guys that potentially for today's game. You do try to keep this in mind, I guess, when you're looking at it. There's going to be a few guys unavailable tonight or in today's game. Profar could potentially be unavailable. You're going to have Estrada could still be ill. We haven't gotten any updates on any of these guys yet. If he's feeling any better, it can go. Suarez has pitched 2 days in a row. Morejon's thrown 2 days in a row. It could be pretty lean for our Padres today, but Michael King has done a great job, needs to continue to do a great job, and got to score some runs early off this dude. What's his name?
Hogan Harris.
I'm going to look up his...
He's got an ERA under 3, but again, it's
got.
Just in 2 starts this year. I think he made 6 starts last year as well, and that's the extent of his big league career so far.
Okay. We got Brett Boone coming up next. We'll ask him all this.
We'll talk to Brett Boone on a Big League Wednesday. Odyssey insider and podcaster Brett Boone will join us when we come back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Jake Cronenworth during the break. And we don't give him enough credit for how smoothly he has gone from first back to second base since Xander Bogaerts got hurt. Jake's a good defender, but it's not easy to just go one day you're a first baseman every day and the next day you're a second baseman every day. Got someone standing by who knows a thing or two about playing second base in the big leagues. We will talk with our friend Brett Boone on a Big League Wednesday right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Viejas Casino and Resort. Couple problems in the North County, guys. Eastbound 78 just past the 5. Two-vehicle accident over the right shoulder. Palomar Airport Road on-ramp to southbound 5. Got a collision involving a couple vehicles. Keep in mind that coastline is going to start getting busy. Opening day at the San Diego County Fair. Gates open at 11. Parking opens at 10. So, yeah, expect it to be pretty busy in both directions later this morning. The daily jackpots at Viejas Casino and Resort are on fire. Players have hit huge wins with bets as low as 50 cents. Check out their jackpot winning smiles on the Viejas Facebook page. Want to join them? Who knows? The next jackpot winner could be you. Viejas Casino and Resort. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And we're joined right now by Odyssey MLB insider Brett Boone. Insider calls presented by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Brett, also the host of the Brett Boone podcast, featuring the most notable names in MLB and around sports every week. And I have to say, it wasn't that long ago that we had Brett in studio. Yep. He was kind of looking to get into doing more media. Now,
he's
you can't stop him
from doing media.
This week alone, he's had, I think, Mark Loretta on, David Cohn, Lance Parrish, Bob Kendrick, Negro Leagues Museum. He's on today. Brett, slow down a little bit. You're making us all look bad.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, we're moving and shaking, baby.
I love it, man.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I was wondering if you'd had a chance to catch either of these games against the A's and see Daz Cameron. And when you watch Daz Cameron playing for the A's, does it make you feel old? Because, you know, obviously his dad, Mike Cameron, former teammate of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm seeing it's more than that. I mean, until recently, Nevin's son Tyler was up in the big leagues with Oakland. Now he's in AAA right now. But I see these kids. I mean, these kids are like little babies when I was a grown man, and I think I'm still a grown man, and they're grown men. Yeah, so I know now, you know, what my dad went through, and guys that played with my dad for years and years. When I got to the big leagues, they would look at me like I had three heads, like, I can't believe I'm pitching against you. And I said, what are you talking about? It's not that big of a deal. It's like, you don't understand, Brett. You know, I broke in with your dad, or I played with your dad for 10 years. Yeah. It's just making me feel old. So I get what they're it's all coming full circle now, and I know what they're talking about. It's good to see Daz up there. Daz has been through it was a first-round pick years ago, and he's been, man, up and down. It's like that life, the life of the minor league guy that gets sent to the big league, sent back down in the minor leagues. It's disruptive, and it's exciting, but at the same time, it's a tough life. It's a tough life.
Yeah, we talked to Marcotte about it on Monday, Booney, and he was like, you know, there's a few guys, and he's like, look, Brent Rooker, we are an organization that had the, I guess, ability to give him the chance to slump for 40 or 50 ABs when others didn't and wouldn't and couldn't. And it's
the bright side of saying we're not very good.
Yeah,
so
it's the bright side of saying it. And my thought was immediately, all the guys you played with, I mean, can you think of anybody that you played with, Brett, that you said, man, this dude slipped through the cracks? Like, if somebody had picked him up and given him the chance to slump for 40 or 50 ABs, he would have figured it out and ended up quitting or getting hurt or walking away.
Not really. Not really.
Okay.
That's the one thing about ball players, is they're resilient as all get out. I mean, they go, and you got to, for most people, there's two ways you finish. You decide, I'm not good enough, it's over, or they take the uniform away from you.
Yeah, they tell you.
More times than not, those guys, they get that uni taken away. So I haven't seen it. You know, I've seen some guys when I first signed that I thought, wow, that guy's going to be good for a long time, and just you get to the big leagues and you see a difference. Deer in the headlights, and that's a part of the big leagues versus the minor leagues. That's not talked about that much. They talk about the biggest jump being, well, if you can play in Double-A, that's kind of the bar. If you can compete in Double-A, you got a chance to be a big leaguer. That is true, and Double-A is definitely a separator. But the minor leagues in general, that jump from the minor leagues to the big leagues is by far the biggest jump. It's just a speed factor. And it's that guy in the minor leagues that everybody talks about, the shortstop on Tucson. We got to watch him play. Well, when you get to the big leagues, even on the worst team, that shortstop in Tucson, he's at every position on the worst team in the league. That guy you're facing, that number one starter that's the best in the league, well, he's a number 3 or number 4 on most average big league teams. So the biggest jump I felt was just AAA to the big leagues, just from a speed standpoint. When you're bang safe in AAA, you're bang out in the big leagues because it's just there's just a little more speed, and that's the biggest difference maker that I noticed coming up through the ranks.
As I mentioned, I had a ton of guests already on this week. Mark Loretta, who we love, he's probably listening right now.
Hi, Mark.
We're supposed to play golf with Mark at some point.
Yeah,
we need to get that done.
I don't want to. He's really good.
He is really good.
He's good. He's a very good
golfer.
He's
just one of those guys. He's just one of those guys. He can play pool, probably shoot darts really well.
He can do it all.
He's got that. That
annoyingly talented. Yeah.
Right. That guy that just bugs you because he's got that natural golf swing. It just goes in the slot correctly.
Yep, perfect.
And he'll always say, "Oh, I haven't played for a couple months."
Oh.
It's everything pure.
The worst.
He's
the worst.
He's a good player.
I haven't even swung it at all. I haven't even practiced.
And then David Cohn, who we both enjoy on the broadcast. But I wanted to ask you about Lance Parrish. You had him on this week. And, growing up as a Padres fan, I remember mostly Lance Parrish beating the Padres in 1984. What did you guys talk about? Did you bring up the 1984 World Series? And what was that conversation about?
Well, Lance and Arlene, his wife, are real good friends of the Boone family. His wife and my mom are probably best friends. She was in town, and Lance just came out with a book. I think it dropped yesterday. Was opening day for the book, and I was talking to Arlene. I was visiting with her a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, Lance, he wanted to know if you could bring him on your podcast because he's got a book launch. I said, absolutely. Lance is like not really a second father, but he's another guy that played against my dad and went on trips as families for years and years. I got a chance to be Lance's teammate actually early in my Seattle tenure, but he came. Yeah, it was all about that. It was all about that 84 season, because that's what the book's about. It was from spring training till the final day, and how it was different from the previous year, and I believe that previous year was 83. He went through the whole thing, talked about it, all the guys top to bottom, and it was fun catching up with Lance. But yeah, that was the premise of this particular podcast, was pumping that book, and it was interesting, talking from Sparky to Darrell Evans was a big off-season sign for them. He talks about the pitching staff, the guys that were going to be there weren't. Obviously Tiger Tram and Whitaker in the middle, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And the thing I love, and it's become my favorite, there's a lot of nicknames we get hit with throughout our career, and teams and teammates and guys you play against. But the Big Wheel, which was Lance's name,
Big Wheel.
That's my favorite one now, because Lance is a monster. I mean, that's a big man right there. He's always been big. He's a big weightlifter. But the Big Wheel and how it was coined, yeah, interesting and always fun catching up with Lance.
That's awesome. Talking to Brett Boone here on Ben and Woods this morning, and one of the ones I'm interested in going back and listen to is David Cohn, because I don't think you could have found, Brett, a more old-school ball player, but that has embraced the new direction of baseball better than David Cohn has. And you hear it when he's on Sunday Night Baseball. That dude is all in. I mean, he is all in on trying to figure out the best, most efficient way to pitch in the year 2024. But he was about as old school as it got when he was with the Royals, the Yankees, the Mets coming up. He has kind of made that jump.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He understands it. And he really studies it. He wants to know. He got into this, this side of the microphone post career, and you see a lot of guys that don't embrace it. I'm still going through it. I'm still learning. I'm definitely open to any of the new waves that come with the game in 2024. And I think a lot of guys, especially from that era, is, I don't like this new game. Well, it's still baseball, and especially for someone like me, it's been in my family for so. It's still baseball, and it's not my game anymore. I think I've said that before. It's not David Cohn's game anymore. Our game from our generation. It's not Bob Boone's game anymore. It's the kids that are playing the game currently. One day it won't be their game, and it'll be their kids' game. But in the meantime, it's like you either embrace it or this game doesn't care about you. It'll run you over and leave you in the dust. So if you want to remain apart, remain relevant, you kind of got to go with the flow. And history will judge each and every one of us in our generation and what people thought of it. But in the meantime, as ex-players, I don't want to be that get off my lawn. It was better when I played. That seems like an easy out for me. Like give me a reason to make it better. How about that? Let's have a smarter conversation. I think David Cohn's really good at that and really has embraced it and really educated to the point where he can teach other people about the nuances of the new game. Really interesting, always catching up with Coney. And he's a guy that gets to see this Yankee team on a daily basis, and I wanted to get his feel. Is it real what I'm seeing? Is it that real on the ground for you? So that's always interesting and enjoy catching up with him.
Out of all the new rules that are in baseball now that are different from when you played, are there, because we all kind of judge them, we all kind of say, oh, well, let's see how it plays out. Are there any that you're like, God, I wish we had that when I was playing?
Well, I've like I said, I've had an open mind with all these rules. At the core, I do like to keep baseball as much as it was the way when I played, but I've been pleasantly surprised. I think there's more rules. There's a few rules I don't like. The only two rules I don't like, and I understand the reason that they put them into the game. To protect the players, the amount of money that's in the game right now. If I'm an owner sitting up in the booth, I completely understand where they're coming from. But instead of talking about the ones I really like, I do like the pitch clock. I think it's been great for baseball. But basically, what's it doing? You talk to guys that played in the 70s and 80s, and they'll tell you, well, you just got back to playing it the way we did, which is pretty accurate.
That's right.
But the game, the game was going in a space where, man, we were getting a 3.5, 3.45 for a game, and it was getting a little bit out of hand. I was resistant to the pitch clock because I had that macho, no, we're baseball. We're the only sport that doesn't have a clock. Wow, has it been great and refreshing and got the game back to. Maybe that's what we needed. Maybe that was the purpose of it. When they went out and made this rule, is just get the game back. The purpose of throwing over only twice to a bag is it's to encourage stealing bases again. It's encouraging playing the game the way it used to be played and moving runners and hitting sacrifice flies. So I think that's all great. Two rules I could take back, Woodsy. I don't like protecting my second baseman at second base on a double play.
And you're a second baseman. You liked them barreling in on you, and you like to barrel in on
You've got to find a way to separate yourself from the pack. Good to great, regular, decent player, Gold Glover. That's how we separate ourselves as second baseman, is being able to turn that big double play. When Kirk Gibson, from my generation's barreling in on me and wants to throw my butt in the left field, how do I turn this double play to win the game at crunch time? That's what separates the good from the great, and now you can't separate. I say it all the time. I can go get the peanut lady to turn two now because you have to slide right into the bag. Nobody's going to get hurt. Any third baseman can bring a left fielder in. He'll turn two.
Ben Higgins out there turning two. You can do it, man. I'm telling you, they're not going to bear down on you.
As a second baseman, man, I don't want to. The other thing is, I like when we used to plow into the catcher. That's baseball.
It is.
And I understand the reason to protect him. They don't even know the rules this day.
They don't. Last night it happened. It happened last
night. Did he give him a lane? Did he not give him a lane? The catchers are looking around like, I really don't even know the rules.
You're right.
If we can turn the clock back, give me those two back, and the rest of it's all good.
I love it.
Yeah, you can call pretty much anything you want at home plate now.
Literally anything. It does not matter.
If they actually give them the full lane, it's almost impossible to tag a guy in a close play anymore because you have to give them so much room, and then they'll slide way toward the dugouts and reach their hand back, and the catcher's standing at 2 feet in front of home plate. He's got it. He reaches around for the tag. The guy's nowhere near him because he had to give him a lane, but it's not. He doesn't take that lane. He takes a lane another 6 feet away and then just sneaks his pinky across the plate where there's no chance to even tag him. So it's kind of, to me, that's the dumb rule, the home plate rule. And again, I don't need to see the catcher getting completely barreled at home plate, but there's got to be a middle ground where we can understand what's happening at home plate.
And the thing is, the rule is so damn vague that you can argue both sides and come out of there not knowing if you're right. So that's what I don't like about it. It's just not clear cut. I need a more clear cut where the layman sitting at home, anybody can go, well, he just violated the rule.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because there's nuances to it. So anyway.
Good stuff this week. Brett,
stuff,
again,
Booty.
check out all of those podcasts. They're all posted. You can follow Brett Boone on social media, on X at TheBoone29. He posted all there. And, of course, the Odyssey podcasts. You can find them on the Odyssey app as well. Brett, appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, brother.
There it was, Odyssey MLB insider Brett Boone. Insider calls are presented by Grainger, with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. I try to keep a good perspective. Someone commented on the tag play at home last night and said, what is the rule? And I go, as far as I can tell, the rule is if it's a Padre doing the tagging, the runner is safe.
Yeah,
if it's a Padre doing the running, the runner is out.
It was, I mean, again, if you're going to look at it and in the context of all the other ones that we've seen, he's blocking the plate. Period. The end. And it did Schilt. Can you challenge that? Can Schilt? I think you can.
Yeah, you
I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe we'll ask him that Friday. And again, I do think that there is some validity to.
Are you sure you want to ask him that, cuz?
I'm going to ask him. Why didn't you challenge that play?
Uh-oh.
Why not? I want to know. I want to know the reasoning behind why not challenge that. And is there validity to the fact that maybe he doesn't know, and maybe the guy watching the film has no idea if it's blocking or not? So
I want to know.
It's an interesting question.
Why he decided to run for Manny at second base, but not first base?
Scoring position.
Scoring position is the answer there.
Let's break that down.
I always like those questions.
We got a Clug report.
Clug report.
Yes.
Coming up, final hour of Ben and Woods ahead on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
never feel like I have enough time with Brett Boone. I always feel rushed, and I feel like with Booney, I want to do like an hour.
Well, thank goodness he's come on almost every week this year,
great,
which has been
man.
terrific.
And God, this isn't meant to be insulting. He's gotten so much better than when he started. He's way better than us now. He's really good.
Well, he has access to really phenomenal guests, which helps.
His Rolodex, but even him as the guest, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal. He's been such a home run this year.
I have gotten a list of some of the new food items that are available at this year's San Diego County Fair. And I want to just ask you about some of them later this hour, if you would or wouldn't. I mean, most of them are woods. There's a couple that are a little dicey, though.
I'm going today.
I know.
Yeah.
So you might be able to try some of these items. So I'll give you a little teaser for day one of the San Diego County Fair coming up later this hour.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Right now, though, Paulie left early today.
Yeah, Paulie's not
he was
feeling
a little
good.
under the weather, but we do have Adam here, and I believe he's going to give us some headlines today in the Clug report. Is that correct, Adam?
And get things started here
Sounds like we
with
are.
our today's edition of the
Clug
report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the
Clug
Report. Two stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
Start off in Major League Baseball.
And one story that you didn't know you needed. It's the
Clug
Report on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
I need to go back in and do hey, I'm going to get us started in Major League Baseball. Go in and fix it up a little bit. Spruce it up after all these years.
Hey
guys.
we really need to throw is it extra sweet.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
In that open as well.
All right. We'll make Paulie do a whole new intro. And then he can take more days off and be sick more because then he doesn't feel bad. Go ahead.
I wish. Oh, here it is. Hold on.
All right. Take your time.
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
And now, Adam Clug.
All right, guys. I know there's a gigantic story in the world of golf that Ben has been champing at the bit all day to talk about, right? Rory McIlroy and his wife have resolved their differences, and the divorce is off.
It's nice to see them get that figured out.
I don't know what changed, but yes, they have. It was irreconcilable differences, irretrievably broken a month ago.
And now it's
But now they're back.
Reconcilable. Oh, did you think I was going to talk about John Rahm?
Pulling out because of a infected toe.
His foot is infected. He was yesterday at a practice, or not even the practice room, but just at the green, in a golf shoe and a flip-flop.
So the devil offers you $500 million, but says you're going to have a really bad year, though. You're going to be uncompetitive in the majors. You're going to have this really toe infection.
Is there even a question
the
what
US
you do?
Open. You're going to be kind of miserable on this live tour. They're not going to get back together with the PGA Tour as fast as you thought, so you're just going to have to go and wear it. Do you take that devil's bargain? He did.
Yes.
He knew what he was getting into.
You can cut one of my toes off. $500 million, Woodsy. Yeah, it's been a tough year.
No John Rahm at the U.S. Open this week.
Yeah,
and, Rory.
And apparently it could affect his long-term health. He says after consulting with numerous doctors, it's the best for my long-term health to withdraw from the U.S. Open.
It's like an like betwing the little toe
between the
and
toes.
the ring toe or whatever the second toe is called.
I'll get, I guess athlete's foot maybe, in between those toes. It hurts like a mother. I can't imagine.
Corns, blisters.
Not corns. Don't be disgusting. God.
Are corns disgusting?
Yes. Their corns are disgusting. Stop looking at me and when you say it at me, you look so creepy.
What if I say corn on the cob?
And it makes
get some at the fair.
Now I don't.
You love corn at the fair.
I do. I was going to have some today. Now I promise you, I'm not. I promise you. Thanks to that, our corn's
the musical
disgusting.
group Corn.
Never been a fan. God. Yeah, I don't like corn that much. God, it's so gross when you say it. No, it hurts like a madman between your toes. I can't imagine it being infected. He's walking around in a flip-flop and one golf shoe yesterday. So he pulled out, right? He's done.
He's out, not playing. Scotty Scheffler, your overwhelming favorite.
Can't even bet him. The odds are
3-1.
In golf.
This is
so stupid.
Tiger territory. No one's won 6 in a year since Tiger in 09 or something. So
first guy we were talking about him versus the field, right?
Yeah.
In terms of making a pick.
Yeah.
Did Justin Thomas have that going on a couple years ago?
He had 5. He won 5 in a year. He had a really good year, but not like Scotty has right now. Even Rory said yesterday, someone asked him, "You've kind of gone on runs like Scotty's on right now." And he goes, "I've never been on a run like Scotty's on right now."
It's just insane.
No one has since Tiger. So they've got Scotty, Xander, and Rory playing together. 1, 2, and 3 in the world the first
cool.
2 days in the absolute marquee of marquee threesomes at Pinehurst number 2 tomorrow.
So cool. So cool. Can't wait.
Yeah.
The other big story in the world of sports, of course, is Joey Chestnut in the world of competitive eating.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog famous hot dog eating contest. Do I flub alarm myself there?
No, you're fine.
Because he is now the spokesperson for the Impossible Dog, right?
Yeah, the vegan Franks.
The vegan Franks.
I know that
he's won 8 straight hot dog eating contests, and he will not be allowed to compete because of the conflict of interest here.
I know that
sponsorships.
The hot dog, the glizzy, as it were. I know they're not made up of the most high quality meats anyway. I know that.
The end bits.
I know what I'm eating when I eat a glizzy. But I don't know that I could eat a plant-based hot dog.
I've never eaten an Impossible burger
me neither.
Or anything like that.
Me neither. Have you?
I have tried it before.
Which one? The burger?
I think it was the Impossible Burger, yeah.
What about the wiener?
I have not tried the wiener.
Right.
They make them now. So they've gotten the technology to the point, and I heard Craig and Annie talking about this.
I
yesterday,
know they have. So they
where
say
it almost bleeds. It's like meat, but it's not. It's tough. It's a mental thing. It doesn't taste bad, but you have to kind of get over the fact: what exactly am I eating? Because if it's not meat, it's trying to fool me into thinking it's meat.
But that's the same thing that you have trained your brain not to think when you bite into a burger from a fast food joint or a hot dog at the turn of a golf course. Yeah. I mean, you have trained your brain to go, this is delicious. This I love. I think I know what's in it, but I think I'd be surprised, but I still want it. And in fact, I got to get it in me right now. But with that,
there are higher quality hot dogs out there.
Oh, sure.
The Vienna sausages, Hebrew Nationals. Nathan's are very high quality dogs.
Absolutely.
Actually.
So they banned him because he's now
representing a competitor.
Basically like going to live.
Yeah, he's going to live.
It's like if it was a Coke drinking contest and all of a sudden he signs with Pepsi. Coke doesn't really want him back. And I understand this.
I do too.
Everyone's outraged that Joey's been banned from the competition.
He took the bag.
It's not that interesting of a competition. He wins it so easily. He's not setting records anymore. I think his most is 75, and he had 62 last year. He doesn't even need to extend himself. And he himself said, I need to stop doing this because it's killing me a few months ago. So let some new blood into the competition. Maybe it'll be exciting. Maybe it'll come down to the last dog
How did you gain all the weight?
Matt's, because I kept doing hot dog eating contests. Matt says this is the softest thing ever from Nathan's, playing scared. But, it's a competitor.
So I brought this up yesterday in the afternoon, and I kind of argued with Tony Gwynn Jr. about it.
What did he say?
Well, what I said was, I think whoever wins the Nathan's hot dog eating contest this year gets an asterisk.
100%.
It's not like Joey Chestnut retired. He's
banned.
No, I agree. I heard this conversation.
He's not banned for cheating either.
I agree with Tony.
Oh,
you're not there. Weird. You're not in the competition.
He's
it doesn't matter why you're not there. There's not an asterisk though.
What if you play 100 fewer games in the regular season? Is there an asterisk?
We all know whoever wins it this year.
Then Joey Chestnut has an asterisk behind all of his because they did not. Major League Eating and Kobayashi couldn't come up with a deal, and they kept him out when Joey Chestnut.
But he beat Kobayashi.
He's once, but Kobayashi beat him a bunch of times too. I'd rather have them going head to head, but they can't seem to get it worked out. So we're not getting the best version of the hot dog eating contest.
Fair. All right.
And finally, guys, while we're on food talk, let's test the limits of what a burrito is.
Burrito Hotline is open on Ben and Woods.
Before we show this, Ben, would you like to give us a definition for what a burrito is?
A burrito is ingredients wrapped inside of a tortilla.
Ingredients wrapped inside of a tortilla is what you can now get at Panda Express.
Finally tried the Panda Express burrito.
I don't need the audio on there.
I would love to hear it, actually.
Chow mein and a couple of big scoops of orange chicken and a little sweet and sour sauce on the side.
No problem.
You can get it at the Panda Express Innovation Kitchen in Pasadena. It was really, really good, just a little bit messy.
I feel like we've talked about this before, but I am definitely
Got the
no
Asian
problem.
rice and noodles and orange chicken wrapped up in a tortilla.
That sounds so...
Panda Express
So
burrito.
there's a place back... Hannah and I used to go there when we started dating. It's on Convoy, and they made sushi burritos, right? Now, I didn't eat them because the burrito itself was seaweed, and I don't like seaweed. She lived on them. She loved them, thought they were the greatest thing ever. There's nothing that I won't put in a tortilla, roll it up like a burrito, and eat it, and it's not instantly better.
I get that sometimes it feels more appropriate to call something a wrap rather than a burrito. If you put like a chicken Caesar salad in
That's a wrap.
tortilla... I don't really say I'm eating a chicken Caesar salad burrito.
You could.
I'm eating a wrap, but technically it's a chicken Caesar salad burrito.
Oh, that looks good, dude. That Panda
Burritos
Express
maybe
would
have
look
to be
good.
hot.
I would totally eat that.
Anything? How about this? I will amend it to hot ingredients inside of a tortilla.
That's fair.
Cold ingredients are a wrap.
matters.
All right, that's fair.
Temperature matters.
Now, have you guys ever had Mongolian barbecue?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the bowl.
You make those little hot burritos.
You get the meat and the veggies, and then they cook, and then you put it in a tortilla with a little sour cream or something. Oh my God. It's like the greatest thing of all time. There's not too much. What hot foods don't belong in a tortilla? Lasagna?
I wouldn't put a hot dog in a tortilla.
I would.
There were
In a
noodles.
tortilla?
Yeah.
There were noodles in that Panda Express burrito. There was chow mein inside of it. So
why does that sound
noodles inside a burrito, they could work.
What
It
about
would be very carby?
Lasagna's
obviously.
an interesting one. That can't go in a
Pizza?
in a tortilla.
Why couldn't lasagna go inside?
I guess it could.
It could.
I mean, anything could.
Is there a good Mongolian beef spot anywhere around? Do they still exist?
We used to. So when I was in college and we wanted to eat cheaply, they had the all-you-can-eat Mongolian barbecue place, but it was a lot cheaper if you just got the one bowl. But you could put as much as you wanted in the one bowl, and you'd actually like tamp it down with like they'd have like paper towels, so you would stuff 7 times the amount that belonged in this one bowl, and then you'd hand it to them, and they cook it up for you.
Purple sis. How about soups in a burrito?
I almost said that, but I assumed the liquid would eliminate it.
A soup burrito, chicken noodle,
lobster bisque burrito.
Somebody says Fashion Valley just opened up the Mongolian stir-fried place in the food court. All right, it's done.
I've heard of Divine Possibilities.
I've had
they
it.
do.
It's incredible.
Pasta wrapped in like a bread cone.
bread
of sorts
cone.
That's like a burrito, pasta burrito.
They're unbelievable. It's not.
They're not
no,
healthy.
It's not a burrito. They hollow out
a bread. Yeah,
and
it's like a
shove
bread
it full
cone.
of spaghetti and meatballs, and it's the greatest thing you've ever had. Oh, Divine Possibilities. Yeah, all right. So, now, what about this? Soup dumplings in a burrito.
Well, isn't a soup dumpling a soup burrito to begin with?
I guess
because
so.
it's soup wrapped in a wrapper of some sort.
Sounds good.
I assume you could have barbecue, pulled pork.
Oh, 100%. Pulled pork burrito would be outstanding. Coleslaw, the whole bit inside. Mac and cheese in there. All right.
I think probably
salivating.
I mean, a lot of things are good without having to be in the burrito, and you're just adding some extra calories you don't need by wrapping it in a tortilla.
We're talking about taking hot foods and putting it into a tortilla, which
Yes.
makes it a burrito. But isn't that what, if I was thinking Mexican food, that's what fajitas are? Is it because the fajita isn't completely wrapped all the way enclosed, which is the difference between a fajita and a burrito?
A taco is just a not enclosed burrito.
That's it. Bone-in wings would be tough wrapped in a tortilla. You're taking your life in your hands when you do that. Thanksgiving burrito, amazing. Amazing. Anybody else starving right now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anybody else want Mongolian barbecue?
I'm not going to make
so
things
bad.
any better when I give you the list of new and available San Diego County Fair foods coming up next as well. So thank you for the Clug report. And we will be back with some of the new offerings at the San Diego County Fair after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Today is the opening day for the San Diego County Fair. Woods is heading out there later today with his kids and Hannah, I assume.
Yeah, and another family couple and their kids.
You usually, as you say, I know you like the grilled corn on the cob.
It's yummy.
Anything else that you always get at the fair?
All of it.
All of it.
As much as I like. So I usually try to go. I like 3 is pretty much my number. I go once this one with the family, and then once I'll grab the kids. At the time, it was just Bo, take him out of school, preschool at the time. But now he's on summer break. He's a big boy. So I try to take him solo, just he and I. And I'll do like a turkey leg 1 out of the 3 times. There was the cinnamon roll that I would always get. But even that's become a little bit much for me lately, so I try to avoid the cinnamon roll. It's weird. I will actually eat semi-healthy at the fair. You know what I like? You're going to laugh. It's so stupid. I get it every year. I get the teriyaki chicken and the half-cut pineapple. I get it every year.
It always looks good.
I love it. I get it, and I'm like, oh, cool. That was $60 well spent on this teriyaki chicken and a half-cut pineapple, but I get it every year. I love it.
Well, I found this thread this morning. Our news team at Channel 10 is anchoring from the fair, and our friend Jared Aarons. You know Jared.
I know Jared.
He's got some similarities to Bald Reindl, actually.
Just in the hair department?
In the hair department.
Right.
He's taken some pictures of some of the items that are available this year, and I just wanted to kind of go through and see a will you or won't you try some of these items, and
will I or
would I or
would
wouldn't
I
you?
Or
You can't.
wouldn't
You
I,
won't be able to eat them all. The first one for me here
yourself.
is maybe a yes. I'm intrigued. It's the Captain Crunch crispy chicken sandwich from Biggie's, and it's a chicken sandwich on a bun, but it is like coated, like stuck with Captain Crunch and Crunch Berries all over it, and I'm intrigued by that possibility.
I think
it looks messy, but possibly something I would try.
I think Crunch Berries are like last meal material. Like, what do you want for your last meal? I think those would be in there.
But I think they could go. They're sweet, but could go with a savory element.
100%.
I'm intrigued. We've got the Barbie-licious.
Wait, hold on. That's the picture?
That's the picture, yeah.
That's too much. It's too busy.
Well, everything's too much. It's the
too
fair.
Busy. I know, it's too busy.
Everything's going to be busy.
I thought they were ground
the
up,
fair.
not big chunks of Crunch Berry on there.
They also have I'm not exactly sure what's in it. It's a Barbie-licious float. It's a big pink float that looks like it has like a cotton candy and a big pink and white lollipop in there. That's an Instagrammable option, but I don't know if that's something you actually want to eat. Here's from Pat's Pizza. Elote. Oh, those are some tenders, some Nashville tenders. Those look pretty normal right there. We also have some elote pizza from Pat's Pizza with bacon-wrapped candied pork belly bites on the side. So elote is the Mexican corn, and they just put it on top of a pizza. I'm a no on that, probably.
I think I'm a no on that.
Usually mayonnaise is an ingredient in the Mexican corn, and I'm not.
You don't like mayonnaise.
Not a huge fan.
Even though you are mayonnaise man.
Tub of Fun beignets. Well, those look simple. Always good for a beignet.
Love beignets.
This one's interesting. Creamsicle trifle from Farmer in the Dell. It's in a jar. And usually it's like some sort of whipped cream and fruit and cake all in a jar. Yes. Or in the very famous Joey episode of Friends.
Meat.
Good.
Peas, good.
Whipped cream,
good. Oh, that trifle looks incredible.
That one looks pretty good.
Woo!
I like orange creamsicles, so
save that.
I think I would do that one. We've got a cookies and cream ice cream on top of a funnel cake.
Ooh, man.
That's a yes, likely. Very high calorie yes, but a yes.
Yeah.
For the teens, the Boba King Strawberry Pop-Tart Boba. So you've got like a boba tea drink with bobas and then
Pop-Tarts?
Well, there's like a Pop-Tart sticking out of the top of it.
No, come on.
I'm not a boba person. And then how about this one? This one's the maybe not for me. Spam fries. They're like sticks of Spam sticking out of the Spam can with some sort of sauce on them, like dipping sauce of some sort. I get it. Spam has become kind of a hip, even a chefy ingredient.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. I'm not a huge Spam guy.
I haven't had it in a long, long time.
Oh, this one's good. So you've heard of the Australian battered potatoes?
Yes, I love
But
them.
how about adding some brisket and cheese on top?
Sold, dude. Absolutely sold.
Yeah, those definitely would be yes. And then Pink's has a Cali dog, which looks like a Pink's hot dog with French fries and some maybe tahine on top of it.
That's
and
Dodger loving, I think, if you get pinks.
Pinks, yeah, that's in L.A. That's an L.A. institution. So those are some of the items that you may or may not be seeing on your trip to the San Diego County Fair.
Have you ever done the big turkey leg?
Yes.
I like it. It's a lot, though.
Caveman. You feel like a caveman.
You feel it's more for show than it is for...
I mean, it's not the best tasting item.
It's not bad.
But it's not bad.
It's just a turkey leg. Delicious, I think. But it's more about walking around with it and saying, look at me.
I'm such a nostalgic, like, what did you get when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I have to get a cinnamon roll.
So I just said that earlier. I'm over it.
Yeah, you're over it.
I'm over
but
the
I have
cinnamon
to go.
roll.
I actually haven't been to the fair in a couple of years. I don't know if I'm going this year or not.
Yeah.
But that trifle, though.
That looks really good.
That one, for me, is maybe the new item I might want to try.
I like the turkey leg. I like the... it's weird. The savory stuff, I think I tend to gravitate toward more. I will say, walking through the Midway or whatever, and you see all the different places, you do have that that thing that hits you, and you're like, I can't choose. I don't... So you always end up going back to the thing that you had last year.
Your pineapple.
My pineapple. I'm
chicken.
so reluctant to try something new in case it's bad.
I mean, you know that once you try something.
Because I had a burger there, Ben, that was horrid.
You're spending some money on it. It's a lot of calories, and you hate to think, okay, I just spent $14 on something, and I spent 1,000 calories or more, and I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
You want to know you're going to love it.
I had a deep-fried cheesecake there, and it was staggeringly good. Like you had to hold yourself up when
on
you
a
had
stick
it.
or not on a stick.
I think it was not. It was in like a little boat, and it had strawberry drizzle. Come on, dude. I was like, I don't know if I'll like this. Yeah, I had to hold myself up at the end. Deep fried Oreos, pretty good. But yeah, I mean, take your.
I often think deep frying takes away from the taste of things. It adds some like umami and texture, but the actual like Oreo inside was pretty good to begin with, and you kind of lose a lot of the Oreo.
It's still really good. You're adding a better flavor onto
you like the
something
flavor
that tastes good.
More than the flavor of what's being fried.
Bring your cholesterol meds with you and just take them there. Maybe some baby aspirin in case your heart stops. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it today. I'm trying not to go crazy. Try not to go crazy. Bo is really excited for the not the rides, the games, which is going to cost me more than the food.
He's into the games.
Mm-hmm. He loves to compete,
which means you're going to have to stay there until he wins.
Well, yeah, but which
means you're going to have to spend a fortune because the games are not. Let's just say they're not designed to be in your favor to win.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
How much will you drop at the fair between
today?
Food and games?
Food and games?
I don't think I've ever made a basket on the shoot-a-hoop basket, the long one.
Yeah, the really long one?
Like the hoop is tiny.
It's tiny.
Tiny.
What will I spend today? So I got free tickets from our buddy Corey. That saves me a little bit. I got... I'll spend two scones. Games and food.
That's
and
$200, I assume. No. Not $2,000. That's good.
Who could spend $2,000 at the fair?
I mean, who wins those the ones where you have to win the small one and then trade it up for the medium one and then the large one and then the extra large one? It must take hundreds to get there. What are you hitting that frog that you're catapulting onto a lily pad? I never see any of those actually stay on there.
Manny, not that Manny in the chat says today is a $500 day for me and the fam. Easy. Yeah, we're going to have to double up on parking because we're driving separate. Yeah, maybe. That's great. You're not going, are you, Kluger?
No.
All right.
Adam's going to the Off-Road Nights Dirt Lifestyle Expo.
One of his favorite events.
You can join Adam there on June 22nd in the North County Mall, Escondido. By winning tickets right now, be the third caller at 833-288-0973 or get your own tickets at ornscene.com. Again, third caller wins 833-288-0973. 4-pack of tickets to the Off-Road Nights Dirt Lifestyle Expo. Adam's people, as we like to say. Call now 833-288-0973. Take a look ahead. We got day baseball for you. Preview. Padres going for just a regular old win today against another team that they're playing. It doesn't matter what they did the last 2 days. They're just trying to win today.
Win a ball game today. See
on
what
97.3 The Fan. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. From a healthier weight to more energy. When you switch your dog's food to the Farmer's Dog, the effects can feel magical. What sorcery is this? None at all. It's just real food made for the health of dogs. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
We really tortured some people in the whole 9 o'clock hour.
Everybody's hungry.
Everybody's starving.
Let's do a little more teasing then. I saw the announcement by the Padres last night.
You got so tickled by this.
New theme games. Yeah.
He's so tickled by this.
Yeah, on Monday, June 24th, later this month, Padres against the Nationals, I believe. They're having hockey night. If you buy a theme game ticket, you can get a Padres hockey sweater, it looks like. And then on Tuesday, July 9th.
Did they all say Cronenworth, by the way, because he's a former hockey player?
That would be smart.
That would be smart.
Cronenworth 9 hockey jerseys, kind of like the Joe Musgrove jersey last night, but these are hockey jerseys for a limited supply for theme game tickets.
So why wouldn't they say Jake Cronenworth hockey jersey night?
I don't know. Just says hockey night.
Okay.
WWE night is July 9th against the Mariners.
Your favorite.
And what it shows is looks like a little Tatis doll, or I don't know if that's a symbol or what they're going to give away on that one.
It looks like one of those WWE figurines we used to play with.
Maybe that's what they're giving out then.
Like the rubber. Are they maybe rubber? They look cool.
But the one that did tickle me, as you said.
You got so delighted.
So clever.
So delighted.
Saturday, July 13th. Christmas in July. And it looks like they have a giveaway T-shirt designed in the theme of a Christmas sweater.
Yep.
And on that shirt, it says, "Have a Merrill Christmas," with a picture of Jackson Merrill and then like a Christmas sweater design on the front. Have a Merrill Christmas. That's just too clever. Someone deserves a raise in the Padres marketing department for coming up with "Have a Merrill Christmas."
He is.
And Christmas in July.
He is so. Christmas in July is like a thing.
It is a thing, but it's never been a baseball thing that I've seen before.
I bet you don't celebrate it at the Higgins household either.
No.
Christmas in
Christmas
July.
is enough.
Woodsy, your wife's already hitting me up for the hockey night.
Bro, just ignore her, please. Just ignore her.
It's a theme game. We don't get those necessarily.
That's true.
Theme games
you want one.
Theme games are a little trickier.
You go buy tickets to those games, and I'm sure she will. Adam, she is a hoarder. You know, I had to go into your desk today to get that belt bag that they brought in for her.
Oh, yeah, I've been holding that for you for like a week.
So I got it now because she's been up.
And you stole his Joe Musgrove jersey.
Yes, that's for a Tier 1.
Yeah.
Tier 1 in Texas, actually. Her 15-year-old son is a huge Joe Musgrove fan. Asked me if I would say, sure, no problem. What else can I do for anyone? If you guys have any
stole
requests.
a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead from the windowsill over there?
Guess what? I got a text
There
this
it's
morning.
gone now.
So I texted this. This has actually happened. This really happened this morning.
Does anybody need this stapler here? We've
Look.
got Odyssey stapler.
Okay, look.
Woods will deliver it to you personally
I've got
later
a Franchi
today.
Cordero signed baseball sitting right here.
Check this out, Adam. Got your Padres belt bag for you. Yay, thank you. No luck on Xander bobblehead or...
I've gotten those texts before.
It's unbelievable. Like, my kids collect the bobbleheads, but she's a merch hoarder. You should see our garage. It looks like the team store. It's really an epidemic.
Well, was it last season when she went and bought every child-sized...
Yes.
What was it?
City Connect
jersey for all the kids of North County.
If you see a child walking around in a City Connect hat, it came from my wife hand.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys do have a ton of merch. I see all the pictures you guys have on socials with your kids. Tons and tons of merch.
Correct. Yeah. She buys me 2 Padres shirts a week, and I'm like, babe, I am good. I have so much gear that I'm so set. And she's like, no, what about this one? And I'm like, it's a little bit loud for me, but she's like, oh, great. You don't like it? I'm like, if you run it by me first, and then I can tell you whether I like it or not, you don't have to spend the money, and then we end up giving it away and buy nothing or something. Like, just run by me what you want to get. But, I mean, her Padres merch addiction is real. I mean, it is as real as it gets right now. So we've got it all.
Anyway, I mean, props to the Padres marketing department. They're selling out pretty much every game. You don't really need to go above and beyond on the merch and the giveaways, and yet it feels like the Padres have the best giveaways in baseball. I mean, I don't know what every team is giving, obviously, every single night, but Padres have a strong giveaway game, strong merchandising game, and they don't really need to do it because they're selling a ton of tickets already, but they do it anyway. So give them some credit for the clever ideas that are coming out of the office there. Good job, everybody.
I really like the Merill shirt a lot. I would like to buy. I'll actually buy tickets for that and go get it.
That one's pretty good.
That stuff's pretty good.
All right, let's check traffic. We'll take a look ahead to this afternoon's matchup. Homestand finale coming up after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Vicki Pepper.
This report brought to you by Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company. Visit them at airmax.com. Got some Caltrans work on the 78 West at Twin Oaks Valley. The off-ramp shut down until 1:30 this afternoon for maintenance. Also seeing brake lights on the 56 West as you head into Carmel Valley. Looking for the best in HVAC? Choose Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company, with free diagnostics on all repairs and estimates. See why over 1,300 happy customers have given Air Max 5-star Yelp reviews. See Air Max today at airmax.com. I'm Vicki Pepper with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
In the last 15 seconds, Ben and I ran through every name for the Athletics starter today except the right one.
We knew it was HH. I knew the initials were HH.
You said Happy Hogan.
Harry
Harris.
Harry Higgins.
Hogan Higgins.
Seems like a lack of respect for the opponent. It's Hogan Harris.
Hogan Harris, obviously.
Is going to be making his third start of the season.
Happy Harris, Happy Hogan.
I think Happy Hogan is from Iron Man. He's the Jon Favreau character as Happy Hogan.
Did not know that.
This is Hogan Harris, though. He'll be going up against Michael King at 1:10 today. Sammy Levitt will have your Eco Water SoCal pregame show at 12:10 after a couple of hours of Annie and Elston. It's the homestand finale, 7-game homestand. Padres are 4-2, which means they've clinched a winning homestand. You know how many winning homestands they've had this season of more than 3 games? This would be one. The only one all year. Wow. They did take 2 of 3 in a 3-game homestand earlier. That's not really a homestand. That's just a series.
Yeah.
You need multiple series for a homestand. First time they've done it, had a winning homestand this year. Maybe they can make it a really good homestand with a 5-2 record if they can finish with a victory today. We're just not using the S word or talking about any cleaning implements.
Correct.
Because the last 5 or 6 times this year they've had an opportunity to break out that cleaning implement. They have been unable to do so in the last game of the series.
Only team left in Major League Baseball without who has not.
So you're saying the White Sox?
Oh yeah, the Marlins
swept a series.
Oh yeah.
We know that the Angels have.
Yeah, we know.
We know that the Rockies have.
Correct.
Because it was against us.
Yep.
The Padres,
last one,
the only one.
The only one.
Just like last year in September when they were the only team without a 4-game winning streak all year, even though they weren't anywhere near the worst team in baseball.
No.
And once again, they're in the upper half of baseball teams
Correct.
this year.
Especially the NL.
But somehow they're the only one that has not done what we're not going to be talking about today.
Stop making history is what I'm asking of our San Diego Padres. Stop making weird history. Get your act together and go out and beat Happy Harris Hogan today. All right? So he's going to be he's a 4-seam guy, Ben. He's a fastball, curveball guy. Mixes in the changeup as well. You know, listen, a little bit of a slider, very, very little. Throws it very little. 4-seam, tops out, Benny. At about 94 miles an hour. So, again, not a guy that's going to be super overpowering. Depends on his command, as do most pitchers, but he's not going to overpower you with stuff. So far this year, he's 0-0 with a 2.21, started 2 games. He's pitched in 4. He's thrown 20 innings, struck out 18. His whip is 1.13. Seems to have decent command. His expected ERA is almost 5. So, again, a guy you should handle today.
I think the real explanation for the weird statistical anomaly is there is no explanation generally, as it with most things with the Padres. But if you want to scratch under the surface just a little bit, Mike Shilt's managerial style is that of win today and worry about tomorrow. And once again, they have gotten a couple of games here, but they're not in necessarily the best shape going into the last game of the series. They have used their closer twice in 2 games. Got some injuries to deal with. You know, that's random, but
some sickness.
Jurickson Profar. Got some sickness with Jeremiah Estrada. You haven't been able to put Manny Machado back out in the field yet, so you've got an only partially available Manny Machado at this point. So you're not exactly at your best. The A's, meanwhile, have not used their probably most potent weapon at all in the series.
Not probably. Their most potent.
Their most potent. Unless it's Brent Rooker, then Mason Miller is their most potent weapon. Be surprised if, we did ask Mark Kotze nicely on Monday.
And he hasn't.
If you would please not use Mason Miller. And so far,
he's a huge Ben and Woods fan, apparently.
He has followed our instructions to the letter.
Somebody thanked me last night because they didn't go to him last night.
They could, and that was a strategic decision to save your closer in case, you needed him in the bottom of the inning after you had scored in the 10th to try to close out a win. And I thought it made a good deal of sense for Mark Kotze to hold back Mason Miller. You're hoping to get to the 10th, and then you score with that runner on second. And then you bring in the nastiest guy, one of the nastiest guys in the league, and say, hey, all right, leave that guy out on second. We win this game. But you had to get there first, and they were not able to get there thanks to Kyle Higashioka. I'm curious what would have happened if Higashioka had not gotten a home run or not gotten on base, and Luis Arraez had either singled or not been on base. Would you have had to gone to a righty or Miller against Tatis? Yes. You're not letting that Alexander guy face the absolute scorching hot Tatis, right? In that situation?
No question.
So you're making a move in 2 batters anyway, at the minimum. But it turned out they should have gone to him or could have gone to him at least.
Do we have a lineup out yet or no? Probably not. Maybe 10.
It's possible, maybe a little early. My guess is they're probably doing a little more testing on knees and hips and stuff before they fill out the lineup at the last possible minute to decide who is actually healthy and available for the team today.
All right. Yeah, and Michael King needs to just continue to do what he's been doing because he has been fantastic.
Efficiency would be good.
He's been great.
With the limited bullpen, 6, hopefully. I think it was 5 last time. 6 would be good. 7 would be even better. We've seen that a couple of times.
How about 12?
I don't need 12. 9 is fantastic. I don't even want 12. Please.
Just
take
9.
12
I'm
out
not
of
asking
mine.
for 12.
I don't want 12.
Just 9.
You're talking about 12. If he pitches the first 9, I hope the Padres, have scored a run or two to give him a lead that you wouldn't need him in the 10th at that point. So that's what we got coming up for you today. 12:10 Eco Water SoCal pregame show. 1:10 first pitch, and then Adam is Chris coming in after the game. Scraby, what do we got? I know
Ello and Scraby will be in, and Scraby's show from 6 to 7.
Is he doing it from home again, or is he coming in after his shoulder surgery?
He's going to be broadcasting from home all week.
He's still at home. So you're going to be here running the board later today as well. After you got called in
that is correct.
to replace Paul Reindl first thing this morning, you'll be here until 7 o'clock running the Scraby show this evening after a Padres game. You want to just run the Padres game too?
That's correct. You know what? I got a cot, a little bed back here, a little mini fridge. I'm just gonna
So are you split shifting is what I said. Did you dump that? I didn't. Split shift is what I said. In front of the boss, no less. Split shift is what I said.
That's what you meant.
That's what you tried to say.
That's what I said.
I didn't even bring up this ESPN piece on Jeremiah Estrada and his signature pitch that Alden Gonzalez dropped this morning because I'm afraid of saying it on the radio.
Oh, it's the chitter.
It's the chitter.
Chitter. It's the chitter.
I don't think we need to dump that, but that's the name of Jeremiah Estrada's signature pitch, and there's a big piece on it this morning on ESPN.com from Alden Gonzalez about the
chitter.
The chitter.
The split shift is very dicey. Are you split shifting today?
I'm just shifting.
You're just shifting all the way through?
All the way through.
No, because then I go back to work and do other stuff.
I thought they banned the shift.
They did not. Not for the brand manager of the program and the station. The split shift chitter. Very dicey morning here. Do you know? Can I curse in Spanish?
No.
Can you ask the FCC if that's possible?
If you'd like to do a podcast that's off the air,
I do not.
Say whatever you'd like.
Why do you want to curse in Spanish?
So that I can
just make up a word and now call it a curse word.
Oh, really? Like the S word, I'll just call just make it up?
Just make a word up. Make a word up, and you say, this is your personal curse word.
Bully.
Bully!
That guy's full of bully. I just made that up off the top of my head.
Do we need to dump that now? Because it's officially a Woods curse word.
There's a way around it. Blarkin, somebody said. Blarkin's a good one.
Was that Barry Larkin?
That guy's out of his Blarkin. That guy's out of his Blarkin mind. That's great. Bully. Blarkin. Yeah, all right. Well, have a great Great day. Thank you
Long
for coming
day.
in and filling in for Paulie. He walked in this morning, dude. He sat down and I go, bro, are you okay? He goes, I didn't know what to do. And I said, get out of my. He took his hat off, Adam. His head was soaked.
I told him
sweat.
I told him he should have called me this morning. He shouldn't have even come in.
Yeah. Well, he looked like grim death. So hopefully he's feeling better. I don't expect him tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll see.
Jeffrey
you
has the perfect curse word for all of us.
Shilt. Yeah, holy shilt.
Shilt.
Did Shilt get a little snippy last night?
I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I can't wait for Friday already.
I just hope they win today. So there's no, well, I don't know what's going to happen on Friday. Before that, we got a show tomorrow at 6. We got a roundtable tomorrow at 10. See how everything goes today. Annie and Elston are coming up next. Braden too. Adam back later. For Woodsy, I'm Ben. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everybody. So long.